Yes, good evening. Tuesday evening, it's another watch along on Cherries Red Army. Welcome. We want to know who's joining us this evening. Let us know in the chat. I can already see you filtering through up the cherries. Will it be lucky 13 for AFC Bournemouth tonight if we remain unbeaten with a win or a draw? Or will we taste defeat for the first time? Well, looking forward to this one. In the next couple of hours, we want to get your thoughts throughout the game. You might be watching on Sky Sports. You might just be watching us, but do interact with us throughout the show. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Help us grow Cherries Red Army. I think we're not too far away from 700. Can we get close to that this evening? That would be great, wouldn't it? Also, hit the like button. We'd like to get to 50 likes. In the last watch alongs that we've done, we have achieved that. So smash that like at some point. Even do it now. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes. And also hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video on this channel. Right. It's a Tuesday night. Fancy Stoke? Oh, go on then. What have we got coming up this evening then? Team sheets are out, lineups live. We're bringing you that very, very soon. Robbie Brady signs, 1 year deal, free transfer. We'll take that. We'll also have pre-match thoughts. I'll be joined by John Spark, my co-commentator, and we'll have some more guests throughout the show. Full 90 minutes coming your way. The emotions, we want to know how you feel minute by minute in the chat. And then after the game, hopefully a positive result for the Cherries. We'll have a match review. Hey, look who it is. It's my co-commentator, John Spark. Hang on a minute, John. You're meant to be at the Beat Bet 365 this evening. What's going on?
You'd have to bring it up, wouldn't you? Let's just say that there was a mishap, and I've been able to get a very small refund on the train fare that I was due, about £2, and then and obviously haven't ended up shelling out for the my ticket in the end. Gutted that I won't be there. Not that I can't be there, but I won't be there. But I don't have to deal with the torrential conditions that I'm sure the away fans are going to have to deal with in that completely open air stadium. So, yeah, there's good news and bad news. But I still get to watch the game and get to chat along with yourself and everyone else that's viewing us today. So there is something.
The stadium's loss is Cherries Red Army's gain. Happy to have you alongside me, John. Right, who else have we got joining us this evening? We have got Ethan Burney. How are you? Saw you on Saturday at Bristol City. Come on, the boys. We've got Chris Hubble. Let's go, Bournemouth. Andrew's live vlog. He's already put his score prediction in there. We're going to get your score predictions before kickoff. How you doing? We've also got Dash.E from Austria. Come on, the Cherries. Cameron, how are you? Thank you for the comments in the match preview. We've got Aaron K. Thank you very much for joining us. Patrick, how are you doing? Evening, everyone. Come on, you Reds. Neil Whedon, a great supporter of the channel. How are you doing, Neil? Up the Chezzers. We've also got the best football moments, you Reds. Carl. Yeah, me and Carl went up to Bristol City on Saturday evening. We've also got Mark. How you doing, Mark Cole? And any more that filter through, Stephen? How are you? Access Advisor. Thanks for joining us. Alan. Come on, Boscombe and Martin. Good evening. Let's hope we have another good game. 2-1 to Bournemouth. He's put his score prediction in. We're going to get those score predictions very soon. Martin, thank you for your comment on the match preview as well. Right then, John, the team sheets are out. The lineups are out. Should we take a look at them?
Let's do that.
Okay, let's take a look at the Stoke City side to start with. So Stoke City, assuming goal is Davis, Wilmot, Suter, Chester, Smith, Allen, Thompson, Klukas, Timon, Powell, and Brown. On the bench, you can see the bench on the screen. It's Bursic, Bath, Francic, Fletcher, Campbell, Sam Surridge. He doesn't start again for Stoke, and Romain Sawyers. We're going to get those lineups on the screen in SofaScore in a minute, John, and see how they potentially line up. But that's a Stoke City side.
Yeah, so based on the way that they put out the names, that certainly looks like they're going to be playing more of a 3-5-2 as opposed to the 3-4-2-1 that they quite often play as. Vrancic not in the starting 11 is quite a boost, I would say, because he is, a very, very good creative and attacking midfielder. And the other interesting one there is actually, is it? Oh God, it's Campbell, isn't it? That's coming. Is it Tyrese Campbell that's back? Isn't it, on the subs bench?
Yeah.
That has been away for a long time, and before getting injured about a year ago, was looking like one of the biggest hot properties in the championship, and scored, I think, 9 goals in almost as many games before getting injured. It was very impressive, what he was doing, and is the player that most Stoke fans are probably gagging to have back, because so much of the rest of the team had done so well, including the defence, which is, although it doesn't have, I've forgotten his name now, on loan from Brighton. But it's one of the big centre backs is out. He was on loan at Coventry last year. But they still have the likes of Harry Souttar, who's also a very highly rated centre back. So, they're. The other interesting player is their right wing back, who I believe has the most assists or has the most chances created for them so far this season. So it's going to be a big test for
Tommy Smith.
Zamora to have to sort of try and come up against quite a strong right-hand side, and see how he does, and of course how Kilkenny does, which we'll get to, against probably Nick Powell. I would imagine will be tasked with doing a little bit of a man marking job on it.
Stoke City, then, they are the second best team at home on form league tables. They're unbeaten at home at the moment, so we'll take a look at that in a little bit. But let's have a look at the Cherries lineup then. Who has Scott Parker gone with? Let's take a look, because that team on Saturday did very well. Well, it's one change for Scott Parker. In goal, Mark Travers. Captain, Lloyd Kelly. Jeff Lerma comes in. That's the one change, and that replaces Jamal Lowe. Dom Solanke. We've got Ryan Christie. Jack Stacey, an assist on Saturday, keeps his place. Gary Cahill. Gavin Kilkenny instead of Ben Pearson. Philip Billing. Jayden Anthony. Jordan Zamora. On the bench, Nyland, Mepham, Ben Pearson, Marcondes, Stanislas, Rogers, and Lowe. Now, before I get John's thoughts, in the chat, we want you to rate this lineup out of 10. 10 being Premier League and 1 being National League. What's your rating of that team lineup ahead? But it's the one change then, John, and I'm going to bring those lineups on that football screen in just a minute. How you feeling about that lineup?
Yeah, interesting. I'm kind of pleased in one way to see Gavin Kilkenny start, because I do think that players should have opportunities given to them on merit, and Kilkenny really in the league have barely put a foot wrong. Not that really Pearson has either, but with Pearson's loss, as it were, in terms of the suspension, has been Kilkenny's gain, and him keeping his place is fully merited. Somewhat harsh on Lowe in terms of the fact that, again, he was a player that didn't really put a foot wrong and scored. He started one game, scored 1 goal. You can't ask much more from a player that really is kind of playing out of position last time, because he's, as far as I've ever seen him, he's only ever played left wing and striker, and he was put on the right wing, and there he goes and scores a goal. So, but the rest of that team is pretty much undroppable at the moment. Stacey staying in for Smith, I'm quite pleased with, because I do think Stacey deserves a run. But I got a bit of kickback, I think, on a tweet I sent out saying how I think the difference between Stacey and Smith is the Stacey attack and how good he is going forward and how good he can be. And Smith just has stopped doing that quite as much, given that he's a bit older now. And I've got quite a few comments just saying that Smith is just better because he's better defensively, which I would agree with. But it's an interesting one. You have to balance that. And we've been so reliant on the left-hand side. I do like Stacey coming in and providing that attacking width down the right-hand side.
Right. we are going to get those lineups on the football pitch in a moment, but we're going to try and do this a few times tonight. We're going to go live to the Bet365 Stadium. Here is Steve Hensman. How you doing, Steve?
Very well, mate. It's a typical cold, wet. It's actually not that cold, to be fair, but it is wet. Midweek night in Stoke. There's the stadium there. Just walking along to the away entrance.
How was your pre-match?
Evening
There
all.
you go, Neil. How you doing, Neil?
He just said, "How you doing, Neil?"
Yeah, they're doing really well. Looking forward to it.
He's looking well.
Mr.
He's looking
Jordan
well,
there.
Steve.
Hello, come on.
There's Mr. Tom Jordan. Those lineups are out then, Steve. One change. Jefferson Lerma comes in for Jamal Lowe. No Ben Pearson. Gavin Kilkenny keeps his place. Are you happy with those lineups?
I'm happy with it. Personally, for me, I probably would have brought in Pearson just for a bit more steeliness in there. So I think Stoke on the typical Tuesday night, cold and all that, their physical team. But I can see exactly why Kilkenny's kept his place. He deserves it, to be fair. Sorry, I was just getting a bit lost here. But yeah, personally for me, I would have gone for Pearson, but I'm happy with Kilkenny.
Brilliant. Can we get a score prediction out of you before you head to the turnstiles?
I am going for a 1-1 and get out of here as quickly as possible.
Right. Enjoy the game. Get behind the team. We hope to speak to you later on.
Yeah, I'll check in later with you, lads.
See you later.
Cheers, bye.
Steve, live from the Bet365. We're also going to bring in another guest now, and we'll take a look at those lineups again. We're going to get those ratings from you. We have got Aaron Kay. He's watching from home. How you doing, Aaron?
Hi, chaps. Looking forward to watching and listening to you two all evening.
Fantastic. Right, so we get those lineups up then, Aaron and John. Aaron, let's get your thoughts then. It's one change. I wanted Ben Pearson. Did you want Ben Pearson?
I love Ben Pearson. So I kind of agree with Steve and in that respect. Having said that, I think it was a no-brainer that Lerma was going to come back in. I think I would not obviously have not played Lerma or Pearson. One of them had to come in. And I think as good as Jamal Lowe was, I think that's the right move. And Ryan Christie goes back to the right-hand side where we know he can be, how good he can be. But then, yeah, it was Kilkenny or Pearson. I can see both sides of it. Kilkenny was superb on Saturday. He does give something a little different to Pearson. He can ping those balls. He can get attacks moving, move the ball quickly. And he can handle himself. It's not like he's completely lightweight. So, I'm not one or the other, really. I think, I would have been happy either way. As I said, I would have probably wanted Pearson in there simply because, it's the old adage, Stoke away on a Tuesday night, you want Ben Pearson in there. But I think Gavin Kilkenny deserves his spot.
Okay, let's just drop that out a minute and take a look at some of these ratings then. So you're rating this team lineup out of 10. We've got AFC Bournemouth, Germany. How are you doing this evening? That's an 8 out of 10. Chris has gone for 9. Alan's gone for a 7. 8 there for Cameron. 8 for Patrick. 9 for Martin. Also another 9 from Martin, 2 in there. Andrew, he's gone for 10. Premier League. Maybe we will be a Premier League team this time next season. So we're loving the ratings. We've also got Heather in there asking why John's not at the stadium. Heather, yeah, it explains at the start. Maybe at the end of this show, go back and John forgot to completely purchase his ticket, I think, through the transaction on the ticket website. But he's with us, and that is a great sign. So let's go back to that lineup. John, Jamal Lowe came in, took his chance on Saturday, scored a great goal, first time finish. But yeah, dropped to the bench. I mean, I can see why.
Yeah, I think, as Aaron quite rightly said, you wanted Jefferson Lerma to come back in. I think Jefferson Lerma has been shown to be a player that not only has great quality, as we know, but also with every manager that has come in, Jefferson Lerma has been one of the first names on the T-sheet. He clearly trains very well and performs brilliantly on the pitch. And there's, he's not quite the same old as Ben Pearson. They both can perform the same duties as a defensive ball-winning defensive midfielder, but Lerma definitely has, he's got the South American in him, which is not only the skills on the ball and the passing, but also the S-housery, shall we call it, that he's well known for. And you could quite easily see in this formation that turning into more of a 4-2-3-1 with Kilkenny and Lerma both sitting a bit deeper, but certainly with Lerma being the one that has license to roam a bit further forward. And, Ryan Christie, as far as I'm concerned, operates better on the right-hand side. He's done well as an attacking midfielder, but I think that his opportunities to drift where he likes from the right wing and the pockets that he picks up there he just seems to have more influence on the game. When it was him and David Brooks in the one instance that happened, both of them seemed to nullify each other most of the time. So I think he is just as good an option off the right wing and allows Jefferson Lerma to come back in. So no real surprises there. And as Aaron mentioned, Kilkenny's not entirely lightweight, but he's going to be coming up against a very strong midfield in the likes of Clucas, Allen, and Powell, and it's going to be tough for him. He is going to probably be picked on a bit in this game because he is the ball playing, and if you stop him, you can stop a lot of service to the wingers. So it's going to be a test for him, the biggest test he's had since he started that first game against West Brom, and it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Aaron, from the Stoke's point of view, Nick Powell, he got the goal against West Brom. I know that we spoke during that game. Stoke absolutely battered West Brom. One of our own as well, not in the starting lineup for Stoke City, and that's Sam Surridge. If this game is finally balanced, he could come on the pitch. Now, I know he hasn't taken his chances recently, but in my opinion, he is a natural number 9, and he is someone we need to be aware of if he does end up coming on later in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if Campbell comes on before him now that he's obviously back and available and is their premium striker and been training for a few weeks, played some games. I'm not surprised to see him on the bench because there's no way he was going to start. I'm also, I don't know much about him, but time and on the left when I was watching that West Brom game, he's got quite a lot of pace about him. So Jack Stacey will have to be wary of him. The likes of Clucas and Allen, as John's already mentioned, they're experienced. They're experienced midfielders, and they're playing a midfield 3, so it's going to match us up a bit from that respect. But if Surridge comes on, I wish him well, but not today.
Aaron, we'll just also touch on this with 11 minutes away from kickoff. And yesterday, Bournemouth announced a new signing on a free transfer. That was Robbie Brady. Robbie Brady said in his interview, Aaron, that he had talks in pre-season with AFC Bournemouth, but those talks then sort of got a bit more speed last week. And look, let's be honest, the news that broke about David Brooks, I only see this as a covering deal for David Brooks. We don't know how long it's going to take for David Brooks to come back fit. Brady's coming on a 1-year deal. He's a very, very good, talented and technical player. I wouldn't say his stats set the world alight, Aaron. I think he's only had 1 assist and 1 goal in the last 3 seasons. But he can give you a lot of quality on the ball. Similar, I think, to Ryan Christie.
Yeah, I'm sure the Brooksy news expedited the whole process. As you say, I think primarily that probably was the reason to get it over the line. But he is versatile. He's obviously can play on the left as well. He's left-footed. I think he has played left wing back as well. So theoretically, he could drop in there as well and play left back if we had to. And he's got great quality, as you say. He's only 29, which surprised me. And is a player I've always quite rated, actually, watching him over the years. So I was surprised he was 29. The only question is, why has no one else picked him up? That's a bit of an odd one because, for me, it seems like an absolute snip. Free transfer, 29-year-old, lots of experience, wand of a left foot, and a no-brainer. So yeah, delighted to see that cross the line, and just adds more to the squad that we've already got.
AFC Bournemouth Germany's just said, did you guys see the tweet from the Stoke Twitter? Let me just see if I can bring that up now. I'm hoping it's a lovely gesture and it does look like it. So they've just put a tweet out. Get well soon, David. We are all with you. That is quality from the opposition tonight, Stoke City. I'm sure the fans in the stadium again, just like on Saturday, John, will get behind David Brooks in the 7th minute. Now, on this watch along, we are going to dedicate 7th minute to David Brooks, and we're going to open up the opportunity for you guys to put anything that you want to put in the 7th minute in the chat. We'll give you a pre-warning, put it in there. We're going to dedicate a 1-minute clip to David Brooks. John, you're seeing it on the screen from Stoke City. It's quality. The whole football family, the whole country has been, it's a good part of football, isn't it?
Yeah, it's moments like these that really sort of, peel away the facade of rivalries in football and bring all supporters together, and even those that aren't associated too much with football, because it's cancer something that has touched almost every family there is. It's just one of the things that unfortunately is present in the world, and you don't expect, even then you don't expect it to happen to a incredibly fit, very active, young man. 24 years old is nothing, and um, Hodgkin's lymphoma is something, and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma are both things that tend to strike those that are younger. It's a blood cancer. It's a horrible thing to happen, and everyone has been so supportive of all the comments on Twitter, of the entire Bristol City crowd from the last game, and I have no doubt that the Stoke fans will be in exactly the same voice in this game, and I'm sure this will be for the next several games. And a lovely touch from the Sheffield United fans as well in their game, cheering him in the 36th minute, which was of course his number when he had his breakthrough season at Sheffield United.
Very briefly then, as kickoff does get nearer, John, just your thoughts on Robbie Brady. I mean, what I would say is he hasn't played a consistent season. When I talk about that, he hasn't played 30 plus games since I think 2015. In the last 3 seasons, he's sort of averaged about 19 games a season. I don't think we need to be worried about that. Are we going to expect to get more than 19 out of him? Because I do see him as a very good squad player.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, that's what he is. That's what he will be. He'll certainly need to get back up to fitness first. But in a similar way to quite a similar sort of style of player to Ryan Christie, although maybe more of a passer, whereas Christie's got that dribble in him as well. And yeah, he's a left-footed right winger. Will love to come inside, take a shot, put in a cross. But he has been playing for Burnley as well, and as much as I think Burnley are a little bit hard done by with the fact that they can actually play football at times, there is a stereotype about them for a reason. And, he'll get saddled with the kind of play that Burnley quite often do. It's funny, as you say, if you pull up his stats on FBref, yeah, his stats don't really show anything all that special, apart from his defensive numbers. Ironically, he's in the top 1% in the top 5 leagues for clearances for attacking midfielders, which maybe, again, says something about Burnley's clear it first ideology. He'll be a great possibility. He'll be a great option on right wing in case Christie gets an injury or he has to come inside. I certainly hope to see him have an impact. And certainly with our record, certainly last season on our terrible set pieces, he's certainly someone that has real quality from the dead ball situation.
Aaron, we're looking to speak to you throughout the evening. I know you're going to pop in where you can. Hopefully it's going to be good thoughts, happy thoughts. What is your pre-match thoughts? You got a score prediction?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very tough. I hope I'm proved wrong, obviously, but I've no doubt it's going to be a very tough game. I think probably our hardest test of the season. If we come through this and win it, we're flying. I still will snap my hand off for a draw right now. I don't know if that's being pessimistic or not, but I really would. And I think I'm going to go for 1-1 draw. And I will pop in come in at half time, and then we'll see how the second half's going.
Brilliant. Great to see you, Aaron. Might see you later.
See you later, guys.
I see Aaron.
We're going to get your score predictions in the chat very, very soon. But I'll tell you what, John, should we have a look at that championship table after those Saturday results? Let's take a look. The Cherries, AFC Bournemouth, Scott Parker's AFC Bournemouth. He's currently doing a pre-match interview on Sky Sports. The Cherries are top of the league with 28 points. West Brom, 25. Fulham in the playoffs, 23. Coventry, 23. Stoke City, our opponents tonight, 21. And Huddersfield, our opponents on Saturday, are 20th. And the other championship teams make up the rest of the table. Let's quickly take a look at the other championship games going on tonight. There are more tomorrow. We'll keep you up together with the scores. And if you hear any scores, please do let us know in the chat. We bring these up too. Tonight we've got Bristol City at home versus Nottingham Forest. Can Bristol City get their first home win of the season? Derby County versus Luton. QPR versus Blackburn. Sheffield United at home to Millwall. And Stoke City playing AFC Bournemouth. John, 5 games in the championship tonight. We're going to keep up together with all of them. Also focusing on the Cherries. Some thoughts on those fixtures?
Well, I mean, Derby County Luton is, I'd certainly, rate Luton favourites on that one. I mean, in our last watch along, I called out Luton as being a team that might put someone away quite strongly in the near future. And then they went and beat Coventry 5-0. So I rate Luton very highly. And one of our own, Harry Cornick, I say one of our own, from the area, and he certainly was in a Bournemouth team for a while, is suddenly turning into a striker of, a great scorer of goals in this season. Then QPR, QPR lost to Fulham, didn't they, most recently? Got kind of hammered in the end. Going up against Blackburn, that should be an interesting one. I think that'll be a high-scoring draw, personally. And then Sheffield United, I think they are on the up, and I really do still think we all agree. I think that they'll still make the playoffs. They're not far away. I think they're only 5 points off, with Millwall a side that can't really do much but draw at the moment. And then Bristol City against Nottingham Forest, I still don't see Bristol City getting their first win in that one. I think Nottingham Forest are on the up, and they're doing quite well at the moment. So I see them getting at least a point from that one.
3 minutes until kickoff then. Right. Come on then, the Cherries. Or even if you're Stoke City fans, we'll welcome anyone this evening that wants to join in on the watch along. Let's get your score predictions in the chat. How do you think this is going to go? Last season, it was AFC Bournemouth 1, Stoke 0. The players are currently waiting to enter the pitch. We're in the green, the cactus green. Put your score predictions in the chat. John, how are you feeling? How do you think this game's going to go? I mean, what's your score prediction? I've given mine away already. I'm going for 1-1.
Well, it's an interesting one because it is the second best record at home versus the best away record in the league. So something's got to give. And it's interesting because I'm kind of still unsure whether I'm really sort of just desperate to get out there with a draw. But I'm actually thinking it's going to be a repeat of last season. I'm not sure when we'll get it, but I'm pretty confident we can get a clean sheet there and nick a goal. So I'm going to be going for a 1-0 win.
Alan's gone for a 0-0. I'll take a draw, but we want an exciting watch along, Alan. We had a 0-0 against Peterborough. We're due a very good, exciting watch along. Who we got here as well? Praying Stoke don't kick our young lads from J.A. Smee. Yeah, that'll be a difficult game. And I think if the physicality comes in, I can see Ben Pearson coming onto the pitch. Right, we are not far away now. The lineups are currently being shown on the screen on Sky Sports. That's where you can watch this game. It's the main event. We're here on the watch along. And I mean, I've been thinking about this all day, John. I was thinking this could either be a belter with both teams. As you said, Stoke brilliant at home. We're top team away from home, or it could be one of them that you counter each other out.
Yeah, it really could be. I think there will be quite an interesting tactical battle here. I am sort of a little bit I'm finding it interesting that they are going with seemingly a 3-5-2, or that it could turn into more of a sort of 3-5-1-1 with Powell sitting a bit deeper off Brown, who's a hard-working, pacey striker without necessarily the real clinical finish of a striker, but certainly a hard worker that's going to put us under a lot of pressure at the back. And with Kilkenny in there, how is he going to deal with this? I personally would have preferred Pearson in this game, but I don't doubt that Kilkenny is good enough to still run a game from that position, going up against some very tough players. And yeah, it's going to be a fascinating game. Hopefully, it's not going to be, it certainly shouldn't be the kind of boring 0-0 draw that we saw last time away at Peterborough. But I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to let you know when the whistle goes so you can sync in line with us. Now, hopefully me and John aren't too far away. We've got Kerry Phillips in the chat. Thanks for this, lads. Sat in my car watching my son finishing his cricket training. No other way of listening. Watching till we get home at 8:15 p.m. Kerry's brother, Sam Davis, is currently at the Bet365 with Tom Jordan, with Neil, with Steve Hensman. I'm hoping they're having a cracking game. But thanks for joining us, Kerry. Hope you enjoy the game when you get home. We are very close to kickoff. It's going to be AFC Bournemouth kicking off. We are in green. We are kicking from right to left as you look at the screen. Stoke are in red and white. We're taking the knee before kickoff. And we are going to be kicking off very soon. Here we go. We are off. First minute of the game. We have possession, and it starts all the way over to Jack Stacey. First thing, John, let's give it away, shall we? 2 passes in. Stoke are on the attack here. They're on the attack. On the right-hand side, a scuffed shot in the end. Mark Travers sort of went down, but didn't try to make a save. He knew it was going wide. That was 2 passes out to Jack Stacey. John, give it away. And Stoke open us up between the fullback and Gary Cahill. First chance to Stoke.
Well, this is going to be very interesting for me because on my screen, we haven't even kicked off yet. So I am well behind you at the moment, which is always fun how I'm the one that's always miles behind you, but it's even further back than usual. I'm going to see what I can do with my internet connection and see if I can speed things up. But certainly giving the ball away so quickly is not a great start. Let's put it bluntly.
And if you're 20 seconds behind me, this could be an interesting evening. But if you need to have a go at trying to get that Wi-Fi sped up, no problem. Stoke at home then. Michael O'Neill's 100th game as Stoke manager. Currently not lost any games at home. They did beat West Brom. They've beaten Reading. The only game they haven't won at home was against Barnsley, a team that's really struggling this season. But Stoke have the ball on the right-hand side. They're in possession. Not overly, they don't overly dominate possession. I think it's something like 52% on average, John. But it'd be interesting who tries to get on the ball and be more dominant in this game.
Yeah, and I expect it to be relatively even in terms of possession, certainly. Stoke are definitely capable of playing the ball around, but given the fact that the home side, it's probably going to be at least a decent amount of impetus on them, trying to take some level of coach. But I shouldn't be surprised if they try and let us have it as much as possible as well. With both teams, do like the opportunity to counter-attack and win the ball high. I think Bournemouth is certainly more likely to want to do that, but it's certainly possible in both cases.
So we are 2 minutes and 20 seconds in at the moment. In the 7th minute, we're going to dedicate a minute's clip to David Brooks. You can put whatever you want as support for David Brooks in the chat, and I'll show it on the screen. We will give you a heads up as we roll on to the 7th minute, but we're currently 2 minutes and 40 seconds in, and Stoke City currently have the ball just inside the Bournemouth half on the left-hand side, and they're trying to work down that line. Jeff Lerma's trying to hold up Nick Powell at the moment, and a good challenge from Jeff Lerma. It ended up coming off of Nick Powell. Now Nick Powell and Jeff Lerma have just squared up head-to-head. No movement of head-to-head towards the players. But, early doors and some tasty, sort of aggression already here. I don't know if you've seen that yet, John.
No, I'm currently at 2:24, but I do see that Gavin Kilkenny's already picked up a yellow card. Not a great start in terms of, there's going to be a lot of aggression in this game, particularly if, as I've yet to see, that Lerma and Powell are going to be squaring up against each other. Do not want to be getting stupid yellow cards that early on, and for such a blatant pullback, wasn't a very clever decision. A little bit silly from Lerma there. Doesn't really need, considering the whistle's gone, doesn't need to make a challenge like that. This could be very interesting.
We're going to be following the championship scores throughout the evening. Currently no goals in the championship as we speak. If you see any goals go in, hear any goals go in, you let us know in the chat. We'll verify that, and then we will keep you updated with those scores. But currently no goals in the championship. It's Stoke City 0, AFC Bournemouth 0, and it's the first corner in the game. It's in the 4th minute, and it does go to Stoke City. Lloyd Kelly defending the ball out for a corner. They'll have the first corner. Corners, worried about any corners with regards to Stoke City's height potentially or strength?
They've got 3 centre-backs on the pitch. That's one more than us. So they certainly should have that little bit of an edge. But having said that, we've got, even if he's not the best in the air, you've got Phil Billing. He'll sniff out any ball that doesn't get past the first man. And with Gary Cahill in, he'll help. Solanke's a great defender.
And Bournemouth are on the attack now with Jayden Anthony. He's tried to play a square ball for Dom Solanke. He's trying to keep it in on the right-hand side. We're in the Stoke City half. He's played a lovely ball back, and now we've got a corner. That was great skill from Dom Solanke. Back heel, Jack Stacey went onto it. He got forward in the Bristol City game to get an assist for Jamal Lowe, and Jack Stacey looked more like himself. And it's a great move there. And we've got our first corner in this game. And we'll see who's going to take this corner in a moment. Might be Ryan Christie. He has a lot of technical ability. Phil Billings in the box. He's having a very good season. We're just waiting for the ball to come over for that corner to be taken. And we've got a lot of players there. You know, nowadays it's really strange, John, that we don't. Just the ball comes in. It's just cleared by the goalkeeper. It's swung out to in. Goalkeeper just knocked it over the bar for another Bournemouth corner. I also find it very strange, John, when teams don't keep any players up the pitch. It's almost like you have to defend 2 set pieces or 2 balls into the box. We know Eddie Howe used to like that.
I think it makes it more difficult for the attacking team. I don't know if anyone follows the Tifo Football account on YouTube. They did a really interesting video yesterday, I think it was, on the fact that goals just aren't scored from corners these days. 3% of corners result in a goal. That is not a lot. That is less than 1 in every 33 corners. So, you know, and showed a good way of maybe how you could make corners more interesting. And one of the main ways they said was you can have a maximum amount of attackers and defenders in the box would be a way of creating more 1v1 duels, creating more space for interesting movement. If you pack everyone possible into the box, it makes it more difficult to score.
Just hold that thought, John. We're just coming up to the 7th minute. So it's 6 minutes and 45 seconds. We're going to dedicate a 1-minute clip to David Brooks in 10 seconds. If you want to put any support for David Brooks in the chat, please do it. And we are going in to the 7th minute. We are all behind you, Brooksy. You got this.
Brooks at the double! David Brooks seems to love scoring on the road. And David Brooks with his first Premier League goal. Across the goal to Callum Wilson. What a save! The rebound is in, and it's 2-2. Onto his left foot. Opportunity to shoot still. Brooks shoots. There it is for David Brooks. And now a little ball where Brooks takes over into the feet of Fraser. Back to David Brooks. This will be brilliant. This is brilliant. Curled now towards Brooks for a second. David Brooks at the double. Tee up Fraser here. And now a chance for the Cherries. Fraser with Brooks. 2-on-2 here. Fraser plays it in. David Brooks for 2-0. It is 2-0. 0-0 Bournemouth Palace. Smith forwards for penalty here. Picked up by Wilson. Square to Brooks. Left foot in. And David Brooks with his first Premier League goal. They wait for a play, nothing comes. And David Brooks is onside. A chance to put the Cherries too clear. Brooks! It is 2-0.
Thank you for all your lovely comments. Get well soon, David Brooks. That was a dedication. 7th minute to David Brooks. It's still 0-0. Nothing really happened in that short period we were away. John, you're back where you were. Carry on.
Yeah, I just having problems with my feed at the moment, so I'm just trying to sort that out. But yeah, I was saying that at the moment it's something like 3% of corners actually result in a goal. So, you know, all the hype where, say, the keeper gets sent up at the end or whatever in the 90th minute, it's not really all that valid. There are definitely ways you can make corners more interesting, and I think one of the ways that defenders are best able to prevent goals from corners is by putting 20 players in the box, because it's almost impossible to get space, and you can't really get the running jump to really generate the powerful leap. Whereas if you leave, say, 2 or 3 attackers up the field, you've actually got a really good chance of counter-attacking. So it's a balance. And Eddie Howe prioritised making sure that you don't concede, as opposed to taking the chance of maybe getting a good counter-attack goal. And to be fair, we got a few good counter-attack goals from corners against opposition over the years with Eddie Howe. We just had so much pace up front. It's a shame we didn't do that in our last season in the Premier League.
10 minutes gone. Stoke City are currently on the ball. No real good chances at the moment. There was a less than quarter chance for Stoke City in the first. minute, and then there was a chance of Ryan Christie where he couldn't get the ball under as he got closer to the goalie just before the 7th minute. But currently, nothing at the moment. Sort of possession is a bit of both, and not a lot of quality going around at the moment. But we're quite used to that, John, aren't we? We're quite used to growing into games, should we say. I think even on Saturday, it took us 20 minutes before the quality shone through. It was very scrappy. But we know once we get going, we're like a light bulb. We're like an eco light bulb, aren't we? We just need a few minutes to warm up, and then once we're on it, we're on it. John's currently frozen at the moment, so I'll just take John out just to see if he can sort his Wi-Fi out. But we're currently in possession in our own half. It's with Ryan Christie. He's just given the ball away. It's now gone back into the Stoke half, back with the Stoke goalkeeper, and it is in possession with their back four. This game is going into the 11th minute. Stoke City trying to keep the ball. No one really exerting themselves at the moment, not really leaving themselves open for a dangerous counter. It's just all about keeping possession at the moment and trying to do something decent on the ball and open something up. We'll just bring John back in. See how you doing, John? How you doing?
Hopefully that's sorted, but we'll see. What minute are you on at the moment, Kirk?
I am on 11 minutes and 25 seconds.
Right, yeah, so I'm still well behind you. So I think over a few games, I think you look particularly at our game against QPR and Luton. Yeah, we didn't play for the first 10 minutes, grab a goal, and then basically run the match for the other 30 minutes in the half, and then fade out and just defend our lead in the second half. I think we've got such a good defensive record. We can just rely on not conceding for a bit and gradually growing into the game, which is just not how Bournemouth have been historically over the last few seasons. We always start like a house on fire. So I think this is new to fans, and I think it's not pleasant. But it's not pleasant initially. But once you realise how good, and once you're comfortable with how good we are defensively, it's not really a worry anymore. It's not like we're not playing. We just wait for the right opportunity and then we take it, which is a pleasant level of clinicalness.
We have got a third corner of the game. Phil Billing tried to whip in a ball from the left-hand side, hit the defender. Jaden Anthony's just taken it. He's now with Kilkenny. They're trying to work a short corner. It's out to Jack Stacey. He strikes it hard, low to the keeper's right, but the keeper didn't even need to really dive. He just moved to the right and collected it comfortable. Stacey didn't really get behind that one. So it's still 0-0. But Bournemouth's first shot on target. We've got Daniel from the States. How are you doing, Daniel? He's currently joining us. AFC Bournemouth, Germany. I think they showed an appreciation for David Brooks as well. Heather's 45 seconds behind. No worries. We'll keep you up together with what is going on. I'm currently on 13 minutes and 10 seconds, and this is match day 13 in the Championship. Bournemouth are hoping to have a lucky 13, unbeaten, not an unlucky 13, where we potentially lose that unbeaten run. Stoke in possession of the ball. They feed it forward to the striker. He lays it back to midfield, and they're currently working it down the left-hand side. Jack Stacey, good block, and it's a corner to Stoke. This is the 5th corner in the game, John. Corners.
It just shows the attacking intent of both sides, because that's 2 for Bournemouth, 3 for Stoke. Both teams are certainly going at it and getting those opportunities to then create something. Obviously, Jack Stacey there, not really getting too much behind that. Unfortunately, not reminiscent of his goal against Blackburn last season. It's kind of it's more than what we hoped in terms of we were worried that they would cancel each other out somewhat, the two teams. But no, the attacking intent is well and truly there, but maybe a little bit sloppy from players. I don't think there's too much fluidity in the game at the moment, but I don't know. We'll see how it pans out.
No goals in this game at the Bet365 Stadium. The first goal in the Championship, though, that comes at Bramall Lane. It's Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1. Goal scorer, John, Jed Wallace. Of course it is.
Oh, yes, of course, for Millwall.
for
Yeah,
Millwall.
it's all. He's basically the only goal scorer in that team, really. If anything good happens for Millwall, it's Jed Wallace. I mean, God, I don't know how there isn't a Premier League team that hasn't decided to pick Jed Wallace up at this point, because he's basically carried an entire team on his back for the last 3 seasons. So he's definitely good enough to take the step up. And heck, if we got promoted, he's a player I'd be very happy for us to pick up.
Shot from Christie hit Lerma. It was another corner, I think. It was the 6th corner in the game. It was worked short again, out to Jack Stacey in the middle. It's now been kicked out. Christie had the shot, but it's still in Bournemouth. Gavin Kilkenny, he's got it about 35 yards out. It's back with Jordan Zamora. He'll be looking for Jaden Anthony. He doesn't on this occasion, though. He gives the ball away. He's still in possession. He's won it back, Jordan Zamora, and then he gives it away again. So working hard, Jordan Zamora. Quality, not quite there at the moment. But short corners, that'll come to you in a moment, probably, John. But that's another short corner that Jaden Anthony Kilkenny to try and then lay up Jack Stacey, central of the goal, about 20 yards out.
Again, oh right, yeah, they're soon to take that corner on my screen. I mean, we've seen that Bournemouth are a little bit have been a little bit better, I suppose, in terms of putting balls into the box from corners. There were a few poor ones against Bristol, if I remember correctly, with Christie not beating the first man. But we've certainly got the players to make short corners interesting. And I want to see that variation. That is how you, that's how you get your goals, is the opposition not being able to deal with what you can. The way that you're attacking, and short corners is a great option for that. I think it's something that infuriates a lot of fans. But I mean, I just gave you a stat: 3% of corners go in. So you need to change things up to actually get those goals.
Welcome everyone who's currently joining us. We have 28 viewers currently watching us on this watch along. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, we'll really appreciate a subscription. We're trying to get to 700 subscribers. We've got Paul. How you doing, Paul? Enjoy the game. Heather says, if we stay unbeaten, she thinks that is a record. And that is also what Ahmed Shubal said. I think that's since 2000. John Tigana has the unbeaten run with Fulham at that time. Neil has said, Billing has started tonight, John, like he finished on Saturday off the pace. Now, I do think that Billing was carrying an injury late on at Bristol City. He kept holding his hip. But we know Billing has quality. We need to get him in the right areas. But yeah, yet to really have an influence on this game.
Yeah, I totally agree with Neil as well. I thought Billing looked so tired and off it towards the end of that Bristol City game, which is weird because he's had 2 weeks of not being on international duty, which
Full cross. Oh, sorry, John, just to interrupt there. It was Jack Stacey on the right-hand side. He pulled it back. I think Ryan Christie left it. Phil Billing got on the end of it. He was sliding just like he did against Sheffield United. The replay showing now, and he sort of shot, but got under the ball. Oh no, he slid, but it looked like the defending Stoke player come behind him and sort of unbalanced him, and he ended up putting it wide right of the post. A first real good chance just inside the box for AFC Bournemouth. Very similar to the goal we scored against Bristol City on Saturday. But that was Jack Stacey working an opening for Bournemouth. It will come very soon to you, I'm sure, John. And let us know what you think about that chance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the interesting stat that was flashed up on Sky just then was that the territory is very much in our favour. Stoke haven't spent a lot of time in our final third. I think it was 13%. So, we're certainly. They haven't shown the possession stats, but they've certainly shown that we're having the better of things in terms of having that territory. But yeah, that chance is just coming up on my screen, and oh wow, yeah, that really was a good opportunity. Lovely cutback from Jack Stacey there, and Billing. Yeah, I think Billing's frustrated that he didn't get something from the ref on that one, because certainly you're right. The defender's coming sliding through the back of him. There could have been something more in that. I mean, defender's got to do what he can. I would have been very disappointed if it was the other way around and it was given a penalty. But, there's going to be another chance like that coming up, I'm sure. But Phil Billing's going through something of a dry patch at the moment as well in terms of goal scoring. Hasn't scored in the last two. Don't know what's happened to him. Fingers crossed he pulls something out of the bag today. But I mean, as you have said many a time on Cherries Red Army, when Phil Bill scores, we don't lose. And I actually look back. I put a tweet up a while back. That stat goes all the way back since he joined, including in the Premier League. In fact, including in the Premier League. In fact, against West Brom, in fact, it doesn't just count as well with goals. If Phil Billing assists a goal, we don't lose. Going back to when he joined us, the only time he scored or assisted a goal for Bournemouth, and we haven't won, was the 2-2 draw first game of the season against West Brom. Every other game that Phil Bill, since he joined us, has scored or assisted, we've won the game. So he's got an incredible record for us.
That is an amazing stat. I think he scored against Villa in the Premier League as well. But there is another goal in the Championship. We're going to bring that to you. Thank you, Jakey up the Cherries. Just brought it to my attention. And Derby County are 1-0 up versus Luton. John said that Luton was going to put a team to bed. Not tonight, though. That was on the previous watch-along. And Tom Lawrence, John, he's given Derby County the lead. I think he's their captain now. And Wayne Rooney still working his magic, trying to keep Derby in the Championship.
If Wayne Rooney keeps Derby in the Championship, that's up there with Eddie Howe on our -17. Yes, it was more points, but Bournemouth had a squad that could go on to win the league, as they did. Later the season after, whereas Derby started this season with 8 first-team players. Started pre-season with 8 first-team players. If he does it, that almost eclipses everything he did as a manager. That almost eclipses everything he did as a player, as far as I'm concerned. That would be ridiculous if he kept Derby up this season. And it's a shame because there are definitely 3 worse teams than Derby at the moment.
Stoke City now were on the attack. They've got another corner. This must be the 7th corner in the game. If you've got an accumulator bets going on corners, this is your game. Whilst that was happening, Nick Powell was rolling around in the middle of the pitch inside our half, but Stoke City were determined to get a ball in the box. Didn't quite come in the end, but it is a Stoke corner. But Nick Powell is getting treatment, so that corner is going to be held up. Like Aaron says in the chat, Kilkenny is on a yellow. He needs to be careful. And if it does look a concern that Kilkenny can get himself into a bit of a delicate area, maybe Ben Pearson will come on earlier than we think. It wasn't Kilkenny on Nick Powell, though. It was more Jeff Lerma trying to clear the ball up the pitch and Nick Powell putting his foot in the way. One of those moments. So, yes, there are 2 goals in the Championship at the moment. Derby 1, Luton 0, Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1. We want to know what you're thinking about this game. We're currently I'm on 22 minutes, 55 seconds. And John is slightly behind me. And he's currently on mute as well.
I'm over a minute behind at the moment.
But
my tablet, unfortunately, doesn't bring Sky through as quickly as I would like it to.
Should we take a look?
That is the way of things sometimes.
Let's quickly take a look at some of the stats while we're waiting for this Stoke corner to come in then. We are 23 minutes in, shall I say. Let's take a look at the early stats. So 54% possession to AFC Bournemouth at the moment, 46 to Stoke. 2 shots to Stoke, 3 to Bournemouth, 1 on target for AFC Bournemouth, 4 corner kicks to the Cherries, and this will probably be Stoke City's 3rd. So 7 corners already. 77% accuracy in the passing from the Cherries to 76% to Stoke City. And at the moment, 50% of our long ball accuracy as well. So we're trying to play that switch at times, John. But when you've got someone like Gavin Kilkenny in there, you will see more long ball stats in matches.
Yeah, and I mean, it was the stat you pulled out in the preview, was it not, about Gavin Kilkenny's long ball accuracy?
63%, I think it is.
Yeah, being basically double, if not more, of Lerma's and Pearson's. Although, weirdly enough, the way things are going, Gavin Kilkenny is going to be the first one of the 3 that actually gets red carded, which is not what you would have said at the start of the season, or even at the start of this game. But that's one of the main things about Kilkenny and his role in that position. He is very good on the ball, and he's got a fantastic passing range, and he's kind of a younger, less experienced Lewis Cook, because Lewis Cook's got all that, but he's got even more. And Kilkenny is sort of building himself up to be that position. But it's Pearson that is the one that is favoured as more of the destroyer, more of a interceptor, and someone that plays it much more simple. I think Pearson's got, probably can pass it quite well, but he just doesn't do it as much as Kilkenny, and doesn't do it as accurately. And that's the difference between the two. And it's maybe why we both thought Pearson would be playing this game and not Kilkenny, because of his strength in the park, his ball winning. But you can make that trade-off that he's not as progressive, he's not as attacking on the ball as Kilkenny. And that's something that you've got to balance, and it's something that Scott Parker felt was worth the risk, shall we put it. And at the moment, the risk is whether he's going to get a second yellow card, not whether he's going to let another player in. You certainly don't want your deepest line midfielder getting a yellow card in the second minute of a game.
No. Come on, Daniel. You're in the wrong watch-along. It's Championship football, not Champions League football. Come on. Don't leave us so, Daniel. But we want Championship scores, not Champions League scores. We'll be a Champions League team under Scott Parker in 2028. We'll wait till then to get those score predictions in. Going to go back to the chat. I think Neil Whedon put a stat in there saying we haven't conceded an away goal since August. 5 clean sheets on the road. I think 1 from Nyland, 4 from Travers. Do we keep one tonight, John?
Well, I thought we would. I'd say in my prediction, I've gone with 1-0. And that is mainly just because of how good we have been defensively. And yeah, 5 clean sheets in a row. Funnily enough, we actually only have 1 clean sheet at home, which was with a victory over Barnsley, the 3-0, which means our total of 6 clean sheets is not the most in the league. Do you know who has the most clean sheets in the league at the moment, Kirk?
Who has the most clean sheets at the
They
moment?
have 7.
Go on, hit me.
Probably not who you'd expect either. Certainly wasn't who I thought it would be.
I mean, I want to say someone like Millwall, but...
No. Millwall have lost too many games and drawn too many as well. It's Swansea. Swansea got the most clean sheets in the league at the moment with 7, which kind of harkens back actually to what Cooper was so famous for as well, with his Swansea team being so organised. But despite their somewhat risky possession-based approach, they do keep quite a few clean sheets at the moment.
First change in the game then. First substitution from Stoke, a forced one. 27th minute, Nick Powell couldn't recover from that injury. He put himself in the way of Jeff Lerma trying to make a 40-yard pass, and he got clattered on the calf, I think. Mario Vrancic, he's coming on for Stoke. You probably think, not that we want players to be injured, but it's not a bad thing that Nick Powell's on the pitch, but Vrancic ain't a bad player either, John.
He's a really good player to come on. If you're going to lose Nick Powell, Vrancic is one hell of a player to bring on in his stead. There's practically no loss in
for Christie
quality
here, into the box, right to left, into the keeper. Couldn't get on the end of it. Sorry, John. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all right. There's practically no loss in quality between Nick Powell and Vrancic. Nick Powell's got a better goal scoring record, maybe, but a very good creative attacking midfielder. But it'd be interesting because Vrancic is, I don't know. I've seen more of as well. He'll play exactly where Nick Powell did, but he's certainly not someone I would say that could play as a second striker. Is more of a link-up attacking midfielder player. But yeah, I don't know whether it's turned into more of a diamond in midfield with that change, or whether they will stick completely to a flat 3-5-2. But yeah, regardless, we'll see.
Paul said, have we discussed the new signing yet? We did that in pre-match just after the lineups, Paul, but thank you for joining us on this watch along. Maybe after the game, you can pop on back onto the video, have a look at the start, and we did talk about it. Chance here for Bournemouth, though. Jeff Lerma got involved with Ryan Christie, blocked from Suter as he tried to cross the ball into the box, and it's out for another corner. That is the Cherries' 5th corner. But yes, we did discuss Robbie Brady signing for the Cherries, didn't we, John? And he's going to be, I'm sure he'll have an opportunity this season to make an impact and help us try and get back to the Premier League.
Yeah, it's an interesting one for him because certainly his career has sort of taken a bit of a his high mark is probably that 2016 goal for Ireland against Italy in the Euros to win that 1-0 and take them through to the next round. And being a winger at Burnley, he doesn't really play the kind of way that we tend to. And with Lowe being quite a good option off the right wing, he's a bit similar to Christie. I'm not entirely sure how much of an impact he's going to have, but he's a great squad player to have. There's definite quality, particularly in dead ball situations. So we'll see what happens.
Some feisty challenges going in this game. We're looking for a competitive game, and we are getting that. No goals, though. We had no goals on the last watch-along we did at Peterborough, but it was very enjoyable. That enjoyable. I even lost my voice, which I'm sure a few people wouldn't have minded. But John did well to keep it going throughout the night. Our first watch-along was a 2-0 against Birmingham, John, and that took 70 minutes to get going, to be fair, but it was a great last 20 minutes. We're hoping at some point in this game it does kick on, and hopefully the Cherries can open up some really good chances.
Well, it might be on the verge of kicking off at any moment, to be honest. I've just seen Harry Souttar's tackle on Jeff Lerma, which was a perfectly good tackle, but Lerma didn't. Lerma looked like he might have taken a bit of a clattering, but he's a tough guy. He'll be fine. Yeah, I don't know if you end up losing your voice, we're going to be going back a minute at this rate, seeing as I'm about 70 seconds behind you.
We should be all right.
Oh yeah. I'm sure we'll be fine.
We'll be all right.
We'll be all right. Just seeing a tackle by Christie that going into the back of, I think that was Brown. Jacob Brown. But yeah, a lot of tackles going in, a lot of strong tackles. Still only the 1 yellow card for Kilkenny, I believe. But we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we see quite a few more yellows in this match at all. Funny how many corners we've had already. But just shows both teams are really getting forward and actually sort of creating opportunities.
Now, the last 45 minutes we played before this game, we weren't very clinical at Bristol City in that second half. The way this game is going, if a really good chance does open up, we may need to be clinical if we want to take all 3 points. A few half chances at the moment. That one from Billing, he's struggling to get himself in the game, just like some have mentioned in the chat. I assume he did fully recover from his hip issue on Saturday. But Billings had a great start to the season, been very effective. He scored that goal against Sheffield United, the winner before the international break. But I do feel that if Billing gets going, other players around Billing, especially down that left-hand side, Jayden Anthony comes alive, Samura then comes alive with Jayden Anthony, and then obviously Solanke can also sort of open up chances for Solanke as well. So we want Billing maybe just to up his tempo a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the two players that really have taken some large amount of the limelight, particularly if you listen to a lot of Championship podcasts like I do, or Football League podcasts, is Jayden Anthony and Jordan Zamora. And the fact that Jordan Zamora's got more goals than Jayden Anthony at the moment is quite impressive. But one of the main reasons those two have shone quite so much is because of their partnership with Philip Billing. And if he's not performing,
Stoke City on the attack here. It's just inside the box to the left, and it's out for another corner. Now, that chance, sorry to interrupt you there, John.
It's fine.
That chance actually came about because Lloyd Kelly, the ball sort of went over the top or around between Cahill and Kelly. Now, Kelly could have made a simple header back to the goalkeeper. He didn't. He made it back out to full back of Stacey's side, and it ended up landing for Stoke City again. They recycled the ball, and then they got an opportunity to cross the ball for a corner. Interesting to get your thoughts on that when it comes round to you, John, because I think that's an easy header back to Mark Travers for Lloyd Kelly, and we're back in possession. Now we're defending a corner, that probably the 9th corner in the game.
Yeah, I'm still sort of yet to come to that, but Lloyd Kelly. Yeah, I mean, I've said a few times I think Lloyd Kelly's far too lackadaisical on the ball at times. That's normally with his feet, not normally with his head. I'm just hoping Phil Billings all right after that tackle, but yeah, I've just seen it and I don't know what he's doing with that. at all. Yes, there's an obvious element of you've got to try and do what you can, but you're right. It was much easier to just gently nudge that back to the keeper. He was under pressure from a couple of Stoke players, and maybe that's what he was worried about. But he definitely could have done more with that. I just see a note there. I did just in the build up to that incident. There was a tangle between Billing and one of the Stoke players. I think possibly Allen, and he did immediately reach his hand back to his lower back.
Yeah.
And certainly seems to be still feeling it as I'm only seeing the corner that's about to come in, but he really looks like he's struggling, which is that's not good. If he has to come off, that's a huge dent in our attacking output.
I'm currently at 35 minutes and 38 seconds. Billing is trying to jog around and just sort the issue he's having out at the moment. He is still hobbling, holding hip stroke lower back. And as I said, I do wonder if he was potentially bringing slight concern from that Bristol City game late on. But we see how he is. He's moving about okay. I think he'll try and run it off. He seems to be okay. We need to get control of this game then. It's currently with Gavin Kilkenny inside the Stoke City half. He's just passed it 10 yards to Jeff Lerma. We are playing out to the right-hand side with Jack Stacey. He gives it away, trying to feed it to Ryan Christie. Stoke City are now in possession. They're currently trying to work themselves inside our half, but they are 10 yards inside their own half. Out on the left, they've just gone over halfway line. I think that's with Timon on the left, and they are just keeping possession at the moment, keeping control of the ball, working it left to right, using the central midfield, intercepted by Billing. Jayden Anthony tried to play it back to Billing. Now it's with Lerma. Both teams giving away possession, not really opening doors, not really taking players out of the game, playing a lot of it in front at the moment, John. And we're struggling to create chances. Lloyd Kelly with a long ball trying to pick out Jayden Anthony. That's headed over by Tommy Smith, and Billing then ends up trying to keep it in play, and it's gone out for a Stoke City throw-in. So lacking quality, lacking dominance on the ball from both teams.
Yeah, I think I was mentioning that maybe the fluidity wasn't there earlier on. Neither team is necessarily keeping the ball for long periods. And as much as we've had a little bit more territory, I haven't seen the possession stats, but I'd imagine it's relatively even, with more of a skew towards Bournemouth. But yeah, neither team has really shown that sort of moment of quality. Bournemouth are the only one that have really created that one chance with Philip Billing sort of being put off at the last moment on the cutback from Stacey. But yeah, again, just I think maybe a bit of decision making just needs to be improved. A little bit more quality on the ball to actually put in that pass.
Out on the right with Stacey again, link up with Christie. Stacey and Christie, cross from Stacey to the back post. Jayden Anthony couldn't win the header. It's now in possession, though, with Bournemouth. It was headed away by Stoke. Dom Solanke, he's in the corner of the Stoke box. He's trying to take on three players. It's with Jun Zamora. He's high up the pitch. He's not in the left-back position. Out of possession again, but back in possession with Bournemouth. It's with Jayden Anthony. He can't keep it. Given away by Phil Billing. Again, just outside the Stoke box. And it's really poor in the final third at the moment. 38 minutes in. And we're just either overdoing it or those short 10-yard passes, just trying to create a good chance. It's just not happening at the moment. Really, really not happening at the moment. And Phil Billing is not quite on it. And I'm going to stay with me because it's Stoke City now down the left-hand side. Crossed, blocked by Lerma, come off his leg, ended up going to Travers and not out for another corner in this game. 38 minutes, 39 minutes now. Not chances at both ends, but the ball is going from both ends at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm just seeing one really nice long whipped ball across to Christie from I think Lloyd Kelly again, which was obviously a minute ago for you. But yeah, really is sort of like that sort of last final moment of quality that, as you were saying, just hasn't been there at the moment from both teams. Just a lot of short passes not being played well. and looks like, Billing not quite on the same length as Zamora there. It's going to be interesting if Billing does. I'm just sort of thinking about if Billing were to come off, what would we do in terms of replacing? Because Junior Stanislas is actually one of the players that I would probably put in that spot. It's probably the first name I think of putting in that spot. But you could put Lerma left, move Christie in, and put Lowe on the right. I think Marcondes is an option as well, but again, I think he's better on the right-hand side of that 8 rather than on the left. And Billing's the only one really that sort of is the one that is used to those combinations with Anthony and Zamora. So, I mean, I'm hoping he stays fine and that hip sort of eases up. But,
Just double checking, there might be another goal in the Championship. I'm just checking, as I'm currently looking at 2 apps at the moment. One's saying there is a goal in the Championship, and one says there isn't. JK up the Cherries is also saying there's potentially another goal in the Championship, but I am just waiting for it to definitely be confirmed. I'm waiting for a scorer. I think we're going to go with it. There is a 3rd goal in the Championship. We played this team on Saturday. They haven't won at home for 16 home games. Bristol City are 1-0 up versus Nottingham Forest. Alex Scott, John, Bristol City take the lead. You didn't fancy Bristol City to turn that stat around, but they are 1-0 up in the Championship.
No, I really didn't. And I think at the moment, every single one of our predictions is wrong, basically, in terms of Derby are beating Luton, Bristol City are beating Nottingham Forest, QPR Blackburn is not a high-scoring game. And then what was the other one that I'm getting wrong? I've got those 2 are wrong. That one's wrong. Waiting for it to scroll across the screen. Sheffield United are also losing to Millwall. So, literally every one of my predictions at the moment basically is wrong, apart from the Bournemouth one, which I did say would be a low-scoring affair. But shows what the Championships like. You know, it's a good thing I didn't put any money on. I'll put it that way.
Guess what? We have no goals in the Championship here at the Bet365. Well, we're not at the Bet365, but we are watching it on Sky Sports. But there is another corner in this game in the first half to Stoke City. To Mark Travis's right, its corner comes in from Francic. High, cleared by Phil Billing. He still looks like he's hobbling. I don't think Billing will be coming out for the second half, is my gut feeling. Jayden Anthony, we're on the counter-attack after defending that corner. He's trying to get in the game. We're going to go to the chat in a minute because there are some good comments coming through. And you were talking about it, John. Who would you swap out for Billing? Do you know what I would? I'd tuck Christie inside. And I think I'd bring Jamal Lowe on after he had such a good impact on Saturday. As you said, there's the Marcondes. Potentially Ben Pearson could come on, but I think you'd have three defensive midfielders in there, and I don't think that would quite work. So, for me, it'd be Jamal Lowe.
Like I said, that would certainly be an option. I think with things going as they are, I think possibly bringing Christie inside would just allow for a little bit more control in the middle of the park, because I think his quality and his short passing ability would certainly allow us to gain a little bit more, do a little bit more with the ball when we're in that final third if he's able to come inside a lot more. But I do think that a person that can, and in fact in this very game has shown the quality to score a goal, who I think is the attacking midfielder that is more of an attacking midfielder in this system than a winger, is Junior Stanislas, as I mentioned. And I do think that him playing in that left-sided role, I think he can probably link up quite well with Anthony and Zamora on the left, but also likes to roam. He loves to just appear wherever he finds a pocket in that sort of in between the lines. And particularly coming off the left-hand side, that's where he wants to be. He wants to be taking one touch, pulling onto his right foot and banging it into the far corner. You've only got to look at his goals against, say, Everton in the Premier League to see what quality he's got in that 1-0 win. So, and in fact, in this very game last season, like I said, he scored the winning, the single decisive goal. You never know, might see events repeat itself, except it might be Kilkenny putting the ball in over the top instead of Lewis Cook in this instance. But yeah, just me being a bit behind you again, just seeing little intricate passes of play that break down after 3 passes, and it's just seems to be the way of things at the moment.
But we are coming up to the 45th minute, 44 minutes, 55 seconds, and I don't think there'll be much injury time, just that injury to Nick Powell that might be added on. At half-time, before we have a short break so we can grab a drink, we'll take a look at those half-time stats. There'll probably be nothing to write home about, but we will look at that possession. We'll then get some half-time thoughts. I am getting slightly concerned, John, that we're doing these watch-alongs, and if we don't start turning these around into thrillers, I don't want to say that we're a bad omen, because I enjoy doing them and I enjoy interacting with the fans. But come on, we do a good watch along, aren't we, John?
We are. This certainly hasn't been brilliant. The Peterborough game wasn't great, and the first 70 minutes of the Birmingham game were dire from a Bournemouth perspective, and then suddenly it turned on when weirdly enough it was Pearson that came on and made the massive difference in that game, which I wouldn't be surprised if he did the same thing again in this one. But yeah, maybe it's something to do with midweek games, but we are due a thriller at some point. But the first half has not been that. Let's put it that way.
3 injury time minutes then in this game in the first half, but there is another goal in the Championship, John, and it is Sheffield United 1, Millwall 1. Guess the goal scorer.
Billy Sharp.
Billy Sharp, of course
Yeah.
it was.
Good guess.
Sheffield United 1, Millwall 1. Currently, there are 3 games in the Championship with goals. Goalless at QPR versus Blackburn, and goalless at the Bet365 Stadium, which we are watching right now with you. It's Stoke 0, AFC Bournemouth 0. Travers just clears the ball up the pitch. Phil Billing tries to catch onto it. Phil Billing, he tried to get through. Defender just got his foot to it to clear it out wide. Tommy Smith picks up the pieces. He clears it 40 yards up the pitch. Lloyd Kelly recycles the ball now. And we've got Jordan Zamora on the left-hand side inside the Stoke half. His first thought is to get it to Anthony, which he does. And Anthony tries to spray a Gavin Kilkenny type 30-yard long ball out to Christie. Overdid it over Christie's head. He couldn't control it. We are 30 seconds away from half-time. And another poor pass, this time a long ball though, John. And you'll see it in just a bit.
Yeah, which is a shame, particularly if it was Anthony, because I do think he's very good at those, actually. As we have mentioned, or at least certainly I know I've mentioned quite a few times how Anthony has totally surprised me, the fact that he's far more of a playmaker than he is a pacey, tricky winger, and usually quite accomplished and very nice on the ball. But I think that's more with short, sharp passes. But he does play a good long ball over Christie now and again, in the same way that Christie does the reverse. But yeah, just every single time something looks like it's going to happen for both sides, it just peters out or a pass is misplaced. And yeah, there it is, that ball too far. Although maybe Christie wasn't as wide as he should have been for that one, I would say. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we'll get something out of the second half. But to be fair, if I'd given you 0-0 at the start of today, would you have taken it?
I would take it,
Yeah.
but I just want a couple of goals for the watch along because, like Heather has said, and she mentioned it at Bristol City, she said we need a goal or no more watch alongs. So come on, for Cherries Red Army, we need to get a goal. It's half time though. The whistle has gone. We're going to take a quick look at those halftime stats, and let's have a quick look. So it's Stoke City 0, AFC Bournemouth 0, 46 possession to Stoke City, 54-52, just been altered on Sofa score, 52% to Bournemouth, 48 to Stoke. 4 shots to Stoke, none on target. They might need Sam Surridge in the second half from a Stoke City fan's point of view. 5 shots to Bournemouth, 2 on target. One of those was Jack Stacey, but didn't really have anything behind it. Corner kicks, 5 for each team. 10 corner kicks in the game. and pretty even stats on the passes. 226 to AFC Bournemouth and 204 to Stoke City. 76% accuracy on the passes there. But we're going to get more halftime thoughts very, very soon. Everyone who's currently joining us, we're enjoying having your company. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to Cherries Red Army if you're new to the channel. We're looking to do more of these, and we're going to have match previews coming up for the Championship. We've got match day vlogs, just like we did have for Bristol City. And yeah, and also we're going to get some more halftime thoughts from Aaron Kay. He's standing by. He's going to join me and John very soon. We'll tell you what we'll do though. We'll give you a chance to go and grab a drink. We're going to go and grab a drink because we're hoping it's going to get thirsty in the second half and there's going to be lots more action. So join us back in just a few minutes. Please don't go away. We want your company for the second half and hopefully the Cherries can get a goal in this game. We'll be back very, very soon and we'll have a look at some of those pre-match thoughts. Welcome back, everyone. It's currently half-time. It's Stoke City 0, AFC Bournemouth 0 in the Championship. Thank you for joining us. We hope you stay with us for the second half. Hopefully there's goals in this game. Make sure you subscribe to Cherries Red Army if you're new to the channel. Also, we'll really appreciate a like. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes this evening. Also, really want to appreciate our channel supporter members for Cherries Red Army. It does go a long way in paying for our services. For what we're using right now, StreamYard, it really does help so we can bring colourful images for you on the screen, and also helps us try and improve our equipment for like our match day vlogs. So thank you to our channel supporter members that you're currently seeing on the screen. If you want to become a channel supporter member, you can just follow buymeacoffee.com/Cherries Red Army. You can become a monthly sort of supporter, or you can just make one-off donations. We really appreciate any donations that come our way to help the channel. We've got John with me throughout the evening, and we're also going to bring Aaron back in. So how you doing, Aaron? You've
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, one positive, you're awake, Aaron. That's got to be a good thing.
Well, listening to you two, how can I possibly fall asleep? No, it wasn't that bad. I actually think, from a Stokes perspective, they haven't troubled us anything like I thought they would do. The crowd is quiet, which we've done well to quieten the crowd. I think we all watched the game against West Brom where the crowd were really up for it. They were just in West Brom's faces. They were getting in behind them numerous times. And to our credit, they haven't really given us any trouble at all. The most dangerous they look is obviously from corners and set pieces, etc. So from that point of view, it's certainly been so far more comfortable than I thought it would be. And from our point of view, we're knocking it around quite nicely. We haven't got that incisiveness yet. I think what's the problem is that Stoke are playing quite a deep line, which doesn't help us. So there's not much room in behind. Why wouldn't they play a deep line against us? Because they know that's a high line and they're always in trouble. So they've got their tactics quite right. I think Gavin Kilkenny has not been anything like as effective as he was against Bristol City. I think the yellow card in the second minute is a problem, and it has been probably weighing on his mind that he can't fly into any tackles. He's got to be careful. He actually did another tackle which he didn't get booked for, so he's kind of riding a tightrope. So he hasn't played badly, but I just don't think he's having that same effect. So I'm wondering if Pearson will come on for him with that yellow card in mind. Plus, he's not really getting on the ball as much as he would have liked. And Phil Billing as well. I know you mentioned it, whether he's carrying an injury or not. Either way, he's not really at the races as much today as he has been. So I probably would agree with John that I think if Billing was to come off, I would put Christie inside like he did against Bristol and put Lowe on the right, because I think perhaps some more pace down our right hand side will benefit, because as good as Christie is, he hasn't got that raw pace which Lowe's got, and Christie, as we know, can play in the middle, dictate the game, and obviously get stuck in as well. The other option is obviously Junior Stanislas. From a creative point of view, better than Christie, but maybe a bit lightweight in this game. So satisfied so far. I think, as I said, we've been the better team just on the whole. I still would settle for a draw, but I think it's there to be won as long as we keep it quiet at the back.
And we've got some new people joining us this evening. Welcome, Luke. Thank you for your comment at the weekend on the matchday vlog. And you made a very good comment about potentially Billing coming out, Martin. Yeah, potentially Billing coming out for Pearson. We've got Ian Johnson joining us as well. But John, it's just lack quality. We've been here before on a watch along, but also not on a watch along. Those 10-yard passes, too sloppy, almost like we're taking our eye off the ball before we've passed it. And then you can just see that the players get frustrated that they've not made that simple pass, because they are class players. We've seen it so many times already this season. We just don't want this game to just drizzle out with a 0-0. I'd take a point. Of course I would. But come on, we got a little bit more about us than we've shown in that first half, John.
Well, I think the frustrating thing about the Peterborough watch along when we were watching was just no one was stretching the back line. You got Morgan Rogers wasn't really having the impact that we hoped he would have, and Dominic Solanke was coming short as he likes to do, but very rarely stretching the play. We were passing it in front of them the entire game. Whereas so in that game, it's quite easy to see. You play the balls through the channels more often. You play the ball over the top more often. You speed things up, and you can get something out of the game, which we kind of started to do in the second half, but wasn't able to capitalize on it. In this game, it doesn't matter how you're passing. if you can't pass, you're not going to get anywhere. So there's no real change in tactics I can say that there should be done here. They just haven't shown any quality in the final third and the final pass, apart from Jack Stacey's ball into Philip Billing for that chance that unfortunately he sent wide. Some interesting stats that have been popped up at halftime on the AFCB TV feed is Stoke apparently haven't committed a foul yet. And we've committed 5, getting 1 yellow card, obviously. But possibly more interesting is the aerial win percentage. We're currently at 63% aerial duel win percentage, which I know you, Kirk, is a stat that you have harped on about, particularly last season, in regards to our aerial strength. And considering what Stoke are known for, they're not quite boring old Stoke. They're more like the sexy Stoke that people are talking about now. But they are still a tall, strong side. For us to be winning well over 50% of the aerial duels is quite something. And the other bit, as Aaron quite rightly said, Stoke haven't threatened us. Travers hasn't had to make a save yet. We've put 2 shots on target. They've put none. But if you look at the XG, it's 0.27 roughly to Stoke and about 0.2 to Bournemouth. It's really low chance games at the moment. It's really not been anything special in terms of that final third from both sides. We can complain as much as we like about Bournemouth's lack of quality. Stoke have been exactly the same. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see if anything gets changed. I agree that perhaps Pearson might be a player that comes on for Kilkenny, but you do lose something. When Kilkenny's allowed to get the space and opportunity to play the balls in, he'll do something with it that Pearson won't. So there is a little bit of a risk involved in maybe getting a little bit more defensive, but I do agree that something maybe needs to change a little bit in order to try and open up Stoke a bit more, because they probably will be quite happy with a 0-0 draw.
Okay, let's just take a look at the other scores in the Championship then. It's Bristol City 1, Nottingham Forest 0. They're looking for their first home win in 16. Derby County 1, Luton 0, QPR 0, Blackburn 0, Sheffield United 1, Millwall 1. I've just seen the Millwall goal, the Jed Wallace. It's sort of a cross from the right-hand side and it just sort of looped over the goalie. Cross stroke shot. He'll probably claim it was a shot. Definitely a cross. And Stoke City 0, AFC Bournemouth 0. Aaron, going to promise me one thing. Whatever the outcome, you're going to pop on at full time and let us know your thoughts. And can you confirm your score prediction again? Are you staying with it?
Yeah, I'm still staying 1-1. I'm not going to change at this stage of the game. As John said, we don't look like we're going to concede, but I think both teams will step it up second half. If Stoke really want it, they don't look like they really want it. Maybe they're happy for a draw. Maybe both teams are happy for a draw and get out of here. As Steve said before the game, let's get out of here. Still unbeaten. One of our toughest away games potentially, and get out. But I think if we step it up, this game's here for the winning far more than I thought it was before the game, based on so far. So I'm still going to say a draw, whether it's 0-0 or 1-1. I'll be surprised if it's any more than that. But I'm going to stick with a draw for now, and hopefully anything more is a bonus. But I will come on at the end. Yeah.
Cheers, Aaron. We'll speak to you later on. Enjoy the second half. Let's hope the Cherries can turn on the style. Speak to you soon.
See ya.
See you later.
We're not far away from the second half kicking off. They're just showing clips at the moment of Tyrese Campbell, who's on the bench, showing some old clips of him sticking the ball in the net. Could Sam Surridge come on for Stoke City, John? Could he have something to prove? Are you worried at all as the players re-enter the pitch?
Well, particularly based off the fan view in your preview, I think Sam Surridge is probably the last striker they'd want on. In this instance, bearing in mind that he said that Sam has probably got the highest XG in the squad at the moment, and he's only got 2 league goals in total, I think. And I mean, missed a penalty for one thing when he came on against West Brom, had another great chance that he couldn't put away somehow. And it's, a little bit frustrating for me because I was the one that went on the BBC Stoke site and said he's a great finisher. That's his one quality, really, is his work rate and his finishing. And yes, his work rate's there, but his finishing is not at the moment. I still think he could get 10 goals, but the problem is that Tyrese Campbell's back. And he's going to be ahead of him in every game. And seemingly, Jacob Brown is ahead of Sam Surridge as well. Steve Fletcher's injured at the moment, but weirdly, he's actually slightly higher in the pecking order than Surridge as well, which I didn't expect. So he might end up being 4th choice or 5th when everyone's fit. I certainly feel a little bit sorry for him, but in terms of Bournemouth,
We're just about to kick off, John. Two
you know,
seconds. We are just about to kick off. Here we go. Stoke City kick off, second half, and we are back underway, shall I say, in the second half. Stoke are in possession on the right-hand side. A long ball headed clear by Lloyd Kelly. Fit Billing, he's still on the pitch, so maybe he was okay at half-time. Got a check over from the physio. Still declared fit. And John, we have kicked off again. We are 45 minutes and 22 seconds. Well, I am.
Yeah, well, you are, and I'm still O'Neill is still making his way into the coaches area.
But you're doing a great job, John, in still giving analysis almost like before you even know it's happened. You're still doing a great job of keeping up, even though you're not seeing what I'm seeing.
Well, I can still watch. I'm still watching the same game, so I can still see what's happening, even if I'm not there at exactly the same time as the rest of you. But I don't know. Maybe that's something I'll put something else I can put in my CV, along with great analysis, even a minute behind everyone else.
Exactly.
But yeah, no changes for both teams from the sounds of things, and yeah, I'm actually a little bit interested in possibly there was a mention I saw in the chat of someone saying possibly bring Lerma back a little bit to just give a little bit more support to Kilkenny, allow him possibly to get a bit more time on the ball. That could well be a tactic. And at the moment, from what I can see in this long ball, bear in mind, I'm just seeing things at 45, 55. Lerma was deeper there. Lerma was level with Kilkenny in that defensive set. But Jack Stacey checking a chance there. But we'll see if that happens further on. I think that may well be when we're defending. Lerma might actually drop deeper, because now we're on the ball. While we are on the ball, Kilkenny's deeper, and Lerma pushes back into the number 8 position and is level with Billing. So yeah, I'll be interested. I'll be interested if there's anything we can tell about what Parker has said at halftime. Along with hoping that Billing lasts quite a bit longer. Maybe he'll probably got a painkilling injection, as they usually do at halftime.
Also got Badger and the Bournemouth fan. He's joining us. Hello, Kirk. Just got home from work. How is AFC Bournemouth looking? The quality's not quite there at the moment. I wouldn't say we're in any danger of conceding a goal. Solid at the back. There's a chance here, though, for Bournemouth. It's with Jordan Samora inside the box. He tried to turn. He almost did a 360 around and hit the Stoke City's defender's foot. Goalkeeper picked it up after the line, but not given. Jordan Samora wants a corner. Referee said, no, not having a corner. Did it go out of play? It did, you know. And I'm not sure whether the referee's given a goal kick or whether he's just not seen that the ball went about 5 yards over the line. But welcome to this watch along, Badger and the Bournemouth fan, Ethan Burney as well. He's in there. And we've also got Sammy Nell. She's joining. Tell you a bit about Talking Cherries at the end of the watch along. They've got an event coming up on the 21st of October, this Thursday. You don't want to miss it at the Vitality Stadium. If you can get to the stadium, free entry, there's an opportunity to meet the Talking Cherries. Simon Francis, maybe Mark McAdam, but I will mention that again at the watch along. So make sure if you can get there, have an evening out at the Vitality Stadium. No goals in this game, but maybe an equaliser in the Championship. And it looks like there is an equaliser at Derby, John. It looks like it's Derby 1, Luton 1, back in the game.
Maybe my predictions will come in. You never know. Sheffield United certainly had to come from a goal behind against Stoke on the weekend. Although Sheffield United were at home and Stoke's away record is not as good as their home record. But yeah, an interesting one there. I mean, the referee definitely gave a goal kick for that incident with Zamora trying to pirouette past the player. It definitely came off the Stoke man, but the ref did not have a good view of that clearly and gave a goal kick.
Ian Dinmay,
But
if I said that right, got the goal for
Onyedinma.
Luton. Yeah, Ian Dinmay. He
Onyedinma,
probably
yeah.
didn't score from 2 yards out. He doesn't score those types of chances. He probably scored inside the box, maybe 12 or so yards out. You have to check out the highlights. There's also another equaliser in the Championship. Goals going in everywhere else, but here and at QPR. And Bristol City looking for that first home win. They were 1-0 up. They've been pegged back. It looks like it's Bristol City 1, potentially Nottingham Forest 1, unless it's been disallowed. And I might be incorrect. Potentially I saw that come up 1-1. But I apologise if I've got that wrong. Maybe it flicked up on the screen on my app, and maybe it's pulled back down for an offside or a disallowed goal. We'll stick with Bristol City 1, Nottingham Forest 0 at the moment. Chance though with Bournemouth. Ryan Christie's got it, and he has a shot outside the box, and it's in! Dom Solanke, rebound, first chance for AFC Bournemouth. Out of nowhere, Christie had the ball on the left-hand side of the 18-yard box. He pulled it inside, shot with his left foot. Keeper didn't take it in, tried to take it in, come off his chest, and Dom Solanke fed the rebound. That's Dom Solanke's 8th goal of the season. AFC Bournemouth 1, Stoke 0.
Well, when that goes in on my screen, I'll give you a view of it. But I think that attack is happening now with Jeff Lerma having just intercepted a pass from the the Stoke back line, who then gives it away again, and Stoke then lose it again. This is the play of the match before Anthony passes it through to Christie on the edge of the box, takes a shot, spilled by the keeper, and yes, Solanke taps it in. Which is great to see him back in the goals as well, because he had so many chances from the exact same spot against Bristol City, and he pulled every single one of them wide, but not wide enough for someone else to tap it in. And then shame Ryan Christie doesn't get his goal yet, because he's deserved it with the quality that he's shown. But just knowing that there's a goal coming is quite interesting for me to look at what happens there, because it is just incredible how many changes in possession happened in the build-up to that goal. Because when you said there was a goal, Jeff Lerma had just shot about 50 yards over the bar. So the goal kick happened. They lose the ball within a couple of passes. We lose the ball within a couple of passes. They lose it again within a couple of passes. And then it's Anthony to Christie who shoots, and Solanke puts it in. But it wasn't, and none of that really was any quality. Ryan Christie's shot wasn't great. The keeper makes a hash of it. And Solanke does the one thing that, does the thing that we want him to do, is be the poacher on the spot. But there was no real quality anywhere in that goal apart from Solanke's movement. There were so many losses of possession. It was incredible. And that's just the story of this match so far.
That is such a goalkeeping error. He should be trying to push that out wide to the right, really. Obviously, we profited from it. Solanke's on the move, reacting to that rebound. That's a number 9 instinct right there. But the goalkeeper will be disappointed from a Stoke point of view, because he should be parrying that out wide for a throw-in my opinion.
Yeah, and you can see that's what he's trying to do, because when people are able to see the replay, if they watch the highlights later on tonight, you can see his arms are like this, and he's trying to force it sideways, but it comes off the side of his arm and bounces straight back into the path of Solanke. And the funny thing is does he even need to do it like that? Because it's an awkward bounce, but could he not have caught that? I mean, keepers these days do not catch as much as they used to. It's very much because of the way that the ball is and the way that players get better and better with their shooting. They don't catch as many things. But I mean, that was awkward. Don't get me wrong, but he definitely could have tried to catch that, or just do much better at his job of pushing it wide, because it wasn't a hard one to push wide. He makes a real hash of it. Very bad goalkeeping error.
We are 1-0 up. It's AFC Bournemouth 1, Stoke City 0. We're on an unbeaten run, a very good run away from home. We're the best team on the road in the league. We're going back to the chat. We've got JK up the Cherries. Red Army. Cherries Red Army. We've got Badger. He's saying, now let's get another one. Put this game away. And the ball comes across from Stoke. From the left, it's back out. It's gone straight across, out to the right. And there's a chance here for Stoke. It's hit the post. A rebound. A striker tries to get on the end of it. He stretches. He can't get a good connection. and it's now gone out for a throw-in after a clearance from Bournemouth. There's me trying to talk about us going for a second, and Stoke City, they've nearly equalised. That all started from a cross from the left, recycled out from the right. Jeff Lerma's watching the midfielder just attack the ball. He's unmarked in the box between himself and Cahill. Hits the post. The Stoke City player reacts to the rebound, but he can't get a good connection. We're off the hook there. AFC Bournemouth 1, Stoke City 0.
Yeah, God, that was close. Yeah, interesting on that one, just to see two poor crosses that go way too far. Well, I say poor crosses. The first one didn't have anyone in the box. The second one goes into the perfect spot and no one gambles. And then the third time, I'm just looking to see Cahill. Yeah, so Cahill's focused on his man, and it's a midfielder, Thompson, I believe, that comes in completely unmarked, falls at his feet, and he passes it into the post. And I don't know how he doesn't score that, because he's got all the time in the world. Maybe he's not fully sighted of it, but should definitely have put that away. And then the rebound, a little bit lucky again that it doesn't quite fall to, I believe it's Klukas that misses the follow up, and then fortunately Stacey's able to get it away. But that was a really close call, and suddenly both teams are starting to make something happen in their opposition third. But
This
you know,
game is
as
coming
things
alive
stand,
now,
my
John.
prediction's bang on.
This game's coming alive now. We wanted more action in the second half. We wanted a goal. We got a goal. Almost 2 goals in this game. There was almost a goal for Stoke City, but it is Stoke City 0, AFC Bournemouth 1. We're going to go back to the chat. We're going to try and catch up. We've got Carl Guy enjoying the game. Get in. That's him celebrating that Bournemouth goal. AFC Bournemouth Germany said, I looked away for a second and Kirk scared me when the goal came in. I got a bit excited, but it was out of nowhere. Christie just got the shot away and Solanke reacted. Ethan said, love this, Kirk and John. Not quite John Motson, but we're trying to bring entertainment to you, Ethan. Hope you're enjoying it. Cameron said, yes, get in. Before that Stoke chance, Aaron was talking about, let's get the second. Don't give them a sniff. There's a sending off at Sheffield United as well. Looks like Morgan Gibbs White might have been sent off. Aaron wants Perlo on. And this game is now getting very busy. We're going to try and keep up with you in the chat where we can. Sammy says we need another goal ASAP. We certainly do. But you know, Sammy, we've had plenty games this season where we're hanging on to 1 goal sort of leads. And we might be on another one here. There's another chance. Jaden Anthony and Samura trying to link up, and a foul given away. Lost control of the ball. Some more fouls just outside the Stoke box. But yeah, this could be another one of those games, John, where we're going to have to dig in deep and try and hold on to this 1-0 lead.
Yeah, as we tend to seem to need to do in matches. But as has been the thing that has been, picked up by, the analysts of the game, is that Bournemouth have done well, yes, but before the game against Bristol City, we'd only played, or even after the game against Bristol City, we'd only played one of the current top 7, with QPR being in 8th place when we started Saturday. And obviously West Brom being the only team in the top real top of the table that we'd actually played. Just Jordan Zamora there on my screen putting in a tackle to try and stop the breakaway, mistiming it, and he has also ended up in the referee's book, which brings Bournemouth's yellow card to 2 academy graduates, with none for Stoke. But just getting lost in my train of thought. That was it. And we played a lot of the bottom teams as well, including obviously the 3 promoted sides. Our credentials have yet to be properly tested against the real cream of the league at the moment, I think, although QPR was a big test as well, as was Luton. But, until we play Fulham and this game against Stoke, we're only sort of halfway through the real challenging games this season. Coventry is going to be a big one. Huddersfield's going to be an interesting one. And this is a real challenge to sort of hold on, possibly need to hold on at this point. But if we can get another goal, it'll make things so much more comfortable.
Okay, so
well.
We were let off there, and we still have our 5 clean sheets, which could turn into 6. But someone is currently warming up. He's just come on the pitch for Sam Klukas. Another Sam, one of Cherries' own through the academy. Sam Surridge is on this pitch for Stoke City. How will he feel? He's going to want to do a job for the team he currently plays for. Will he celebrate if he scores? Hopefully he won't score, John. But, this game's going to get interesting now. If they keep firing these balls through into the box, Sam Surridge, he's a goal getter. He's an 18-yard box striker. His clinicality hasn't been quite there a few weeks ago. But, he's going to want to prove himself, shall we say.
Well, without a doubt. I mean, the main reason that he's not at Bournemouth anymore is because he wasn't getting enough chances. And I think that's, in terms of his opinion, he really felt as though he needed more opportunities, which I would have agreed with. I think that he maybe was not given the opportunities that he deserved last season, but he also wasn't necessarily putting in performance every time he came on. And that's partly to do with how we were playing. And in this system, he doesn't fit as the striker. He doesn't really fit as the striker that Parker really wants to lead the line, in terms of that sort of 9.5 that Solanke is. Whereas I feel as though he would have been a good option off the bench. He wants more than that from his career, which I think is fair play to him. If they play to his, the funny thing is that they've got Jacob Brown and they've got Sam Surridge on, who are both, high energy, high pressing, fast, more sort of penalty box players, I think. So it's interesting to see that Surridge seems to be the deeper of the two, as things stand. But we'll see how that plays out. If they keep putting balls into the box, I wouldn't be surprised if he got on the end of one. He's that kind of player.
Badger and Bournemouth says, appreciate these watch-along guys because I can't see the Cherries here in the US, and we really appreciate you being here with us on this watch-along. Ian said we are much better holding on, but should still be pushing for the second. We're going to catch up with the chat. There's another goal in the Championship. Luton equalised at Derby, but they are back behind because Jason Knight has given Wayne Rooney's Derby County a 2-1 league, and they're still fighting to remain in the Championship. We're currently watching Stoke City 0, AFC Bournemouth 1. Jack Stacey's in possession. He's played out to Christie on the right. He likes to cut in on his left because that's his favoured foot. It's with Jeff Lerma, 25 yards. He's taken the ball inside the box. That's a penalty. He's gone down in the box. The referee's currently out the screen. He's not interested. Jeff is asking the question. Referee says no. It's gone out. Stoke have cleared it. It's a throw-in. Jeff wanted it. Ref not interested. Sorry. It was Jordan Samora who was on the attack into the box. The sort of defender sort of sticks a leg out behind him. That's a penalty for me. That's a penalty. I mean, I'll see it again. I'm happy to see it again. That looks like a penalty. When you catch up with it, John, I'd love to gain your thoughts on that. But he sticks out a leg. His balance is all wrong, the Stoke defender. He then puts his leg out behind him. Jordan Samora moves the ball just away from him. I think it's a penalty. Love to know what you think in the chat. I think that's a penalty to Bournemouth. If I need to have another look at it, I'm happy to have another look at it. But
I've just seen it live. It's an interesting one because he kind of looks like he's stumbling once he's on his way into the box. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty stone wall as far as I'm concerned. It's it's schoolboy defending from the defender. Am I there? Have you lost me?
You're back. Go for it. It's just a corner. You are back, but
Hello?
Just bear with us. It's just a corner.
All right, I'm back.
Can you hear us? Yeah, just bear with us a minute, John. It's a corner with Jaden Anthony. 10 plus corners in this game. Jaden Anthony from Stokes. Right, it's a shot from Jack Stacey. So it was a corner in, headed out from Stoke City. Jack Stacey's running onto it, just outside the D. He hits a volley, hits the Stoke defender, and it's back out. Yeah, it's back out for another corner off the Stoke City defender. It's going to be another corner to Bournemouth. Lots of corners in this game. Still thinking about that penalty shout. For me, it's Stonewall. I mean, I really want to get your thoughts in the chat. Do you think that's a penalty? It's another corner short. Just stay with me a minute, John. We just got another corner short.
No
Gavin Kilkenny's recycling the ball. It's out with Jaden Anthony on the right-hand side now. He's overplayed it. He's gone out for a goal kick. Jack Stacey slipped, and he couldn't keep the ball in. Back to you, John. Penalty.
So the thing that I thought would have been a bit is the thing that I've started looking at a lot more when I can see things on screen is often where the referee is. Because I feel the best referees are the ones that keep up with play and always find the best angles to make decisions from. And the shot that's just come, that was just shown up there, is the referee had a completely clear view. He actually, I think, was a bit too far away from play, but he had nothing to obstruct him from making the decision. And I don't know how he hasn't given it. It's so clear because it's a totally schoolboy
attack. Sam Surridge
action
in the box.
From the defender.
Sam Surridge in the box. Sorry, John. Stoke City were on the attack. Vrancic got Sam Surridge involved. He just got inside the 18-yard box, but to the left, as you look at Mark Travers, as Sam Surridge is facing Mark Travers. But Gary Cahill, he just sort of took himself defensively more central and gave himself about a split second to react to the cross. He did get on. He was able to cut the ball out, and it's a corner. Stoke City corner coming in from Vrancic. And it's gathered by Travers after an attempted header from Stoke. Sorry to cut in there, John, but that was a chance for Stoke City.
Yeah, I think just to go back to the penalty, I think that's something that if we don't get anything within this game is going to be a big moment, just because I think how obvious it really was in terms of the defender just leaves a back. The defender does what you should never do. He makes a tackle with his back leg, puts it out as if he's going to go down to make a catch from a cricket throw, leaving his back leg out. And then in the moment that he looks like he's going to pull his leg away, he doesn't, leaves it there. And it's just a leg there that is easy for him to trip up on. Gathered by Travers that corner. And I really don't know how the ref hasn't given that, because when you see the replay, he has a perfect view of it. And I'm hoping that nothing else happens in this game, because I've at the moment I've called it bang on with a 1-0, but Stoke still haven't threatened us really, apart from that one shot that hit the post, which should have been a goal. But we'll see if the Bournemouth players can put something together to make the attack. I do wonder what kind of substitutions that Scott Parker will make now as well, because the obvious defensive change is to bring Pearson off for Kilkenny, because Kilkenny's on a yellow for one, and also he's going to be more defensively sound, less likely to take any risks, and has the opportunity to make a bad foul if necessary to get the yellow, but which Kilkenny can't do. But a nice little bit of interchanging there in the attacking thirds. Kilkenny playing further up than I'd like, but Solanke absolutely charging back to do his work. I know I'm about 50 seconds behind you at the moment, but still got great defensive work from Bournemouth, which you love to see. Real hard work in closing down the opposition, but it's just not the way of Bournemouth at the moment to go for a second goal. It's just more that we'll sit back, protect our lead, and
we're in possession again.
And wait
Jack
for the
Stacey from the right. It's another chance. Squared across from Jack Stacey. It was Ryan Christie and Jack Stacey linking up again. We're having a little bit more success down this right-hand side. He fizzed it across low this time, and we were coming in at the back post, but it was good defending by Stoke in the end. They were able to clear it without ending up putting it in their own goal, because sometimes that's what can happen when those type of crosses come across your goal. But it's now with Stoke. They've gone on the attack. It's a cross from the right. It's a shot from 25 or so yards out from Stoke City. It was a half volley, didn't catch it, caught it, clipped it, and it went very far wide. Scott Parker, he's very focused on this game, John, but someone in his coaching team was watching this watch along on their phone. We asked for a tasty second half. We were looking for a goal. we've got exactly what we wanted. We've deserved this on our watch along. We've got 69 minutes, 42 seconds currently on the clock. And this game's getting very, very exciting now, John.
Yeah, it's a lot more. There's more action in the penalty boxes in both penalty boxes in this half, which makes it more exciting for the neutral, but certainly a lot more nail biting for people like us. Yeah, I've just seen a ball fired over the bar from Thompson from 25 yards ish, and they're making another change now.
Tyrese Campbell has just come on the pitch.
Tyrese Campbell.
Yeah.
Yes, Tyrese Campbell coming on for Jacob Brown, I'd imagine. And that front two is the one that I think when Surridge was sold to Stoke, what I thought they would probably look to do from going forward is a Campbell Surridge front two. And you know, this is the star man. This is who Stoke fans just got a taste of last season. And it's someone we've got to try and do our best to shut down. The worry is that, you know, he ends up in a foot race against Gary Cahill or something like that. And what we prefer is if he goes up against Lloyd Kelly. But we just need to be organised, need to keep that line solid. And, you know, our best way of defending is to keep hold of the ball and keep attacking. But we just got to be careful not to open ourselves up too much at the back.
We hope you're enjoying this watch along. We're enjoying this game right now with 19 minutes on the clock. We are winning 1-0. There's 5 games in the Championship currently going on. We have got Bristol City 1, Nottingham Forest 0, QPR 0, Blackburn 0. You thought there might be goals in that game. Derby County 2, Luton 1. It's Sheffield United 1, Millwall 1. Sheffield United are down to 10 men. And it's Stoke City 0, AFC Bournemouth 1 at the Bet365 Stadium. Let us know how you're feeling in the chat. We are looking for a 3rd consecutive win, and we're looking to continue this good form on the road. We're the best team in the Championship on the road, and we currently are looking like we are going to get a 6 clean sheet on the road. And that's what John called. He went for 1-0. I went for 1-1. I hope I'm wrong. I hope John is right. But how are you feeling about the next 20 minutes? Let us know. We'll drop your feelings on the chat. Can we do it? This game's got to be managed now, John. They've got a lot of strikers on the ball. I would say in that game that I watched, West Brom and Stoke did come on very strong at the end. I mean, they missed 2 or 3 great chances. So there is potential that they could have some effect in this last 20 minutes. But what will be beneficial to us is if they do try and counter, and there's a chance here for Bournemouth. It's with Dom Solanke. Oh, and he's hit the bar. He's hit the bar. Good work from Jeff Lerma. Dom Solanke, disguised, cut in from the right, sold the defender, struck the ball. He almost disguised the goalkeeper as well. And it's hit the bar. It's hit the top of the bar. It's gone directly up in the air. Jeff Lerma's tried to win the header. We've not had a penalty given to us. We've now missed a very good second chance to take a 2-0 lead. Will we regret these missed opportunities? Looking at it again, Jeff Lerma, great movement from Dom, great skill, great strike, great technique, too much on it, top of the bar. Jeff tries to get involved with the goalkeeper. It isn't a second though. It's Stoke 0, AFC Bournemouth 1 still, John. That's going to be coming to you very soon, and I think you're going to hope that we would put that away.
That's the second time you've said Lerma when it's not.
Was it Samora again?
Yeah.
Oh, Samora again. I don't know why he gets so far forward. I need to sort these out.
Well, I don't know why you keep saying Lerma when it's a player on the left-hand side. Lerma operates on the right. Zamora's the one on the left. I know they do kind of rhyme-ish. So maybe, but no, that's Zamora that's got himself forward again. He's always getting forward stuff like that. It's more funny that he's in the middle of the pitch, but and just looking at it again, I was so focused on wondering when Lerma was going to get the ball, I didn't notice Zamora getting it in that replay. So, but yeah, Solanke does everything well until just that last shot. That he just he's done the keeper as well. The keeper's already diving the wrong way, and he fires it into the bar. It's that reminds me a lot of the kind of one-on-ones I'm getting in FIFA 22 at the moment. I keep firing them onto the bar as well, putting too much power into them. But yeah, oh God, that would have made such a difference to how we can just see out this game. But at the same time, maybe would have seen us drop even deeper than we currently are playing. We're allowing Stoke to come onto us. And I think if possible, we can really make something from them having such a high press. And really sort of creating nice counters. And this passing is a lot better now. It's obviously the opportunity didn't make anything because you've not stopped me from talking. But a lovely interchange there between don't like that from Solanke. A lovely interchange between Christie, Solanke, and Stacey. Before Solanke gets tackled just on the edge of the box. Great tackle as far as I can see, but Solanke was not happy. He gets up and then almost hacks the foot off the Stoke left centre back. I don't know. Yeah, Solanke not happy there. I thought that was a tackle, but
not available on AFCB TV because it is the main game on Sky. But you can stay with us. We'll try and bring you as much action through this watch along with 14 minutes to go. We've had a very good chance to go 2-0 up. We should have had a penalty. We took our first goal very well. That was through Dom Solanke. He nearly had a double, but it is still only 1-0. And apologies there. John's put me right. We are live. We are living in the moment. But it was John Zamora getting involved there and linking up well with Dom Solanke. It was not Jeff Lerma. But we play on. 76 minutes, 34 seconds on my clock. This game will open up even more in the next 14 minutes because Stoke will press to find that equaliser. I hope we don't drop too deep and I hope we continue to play the way we are and we keep looking to take enough men forward. We've got Christie on the ball here at the right. It's Billing. He wants to, again, poor from Billing. Not been Billing's night tonight. Struggled with potential fitness. Hasn't felt like he's felt comfortable on the pitch in the game. But maybe a change coming up soon for Billing. Maybe his game has run. We know he's going to give us lots of positive moments this season, John, but it's just not been Billing's night, is it? And Ryan Christie's currently down with an injury, a break in play.
Travers was down with injury briefly as well at one point. But I think you've lost me.
You are back.
There we go.
We'll bring you back. You're back.
Yeah, Travers had an injury briefly as well. Hopefully that one doesn't maintain. First time there, I think seeing Solanke properly lose his rag a bit when he goes into the. I've gone again.
I'll take over just for the moment and we'll just see if John can come back fully in just a moment. Alan says, come on, Parker, needs some subs. Yeah, it's a delicate scoreline, isn't it? It's one of those moments that do you keep the players on there that are in with the development of the game and they're up with the pace of it, bringing on fresh players. They need to build into it. But I do agree. I think this game is probably now ready for Pearson. He'll bring some structure and some organisation into that midfield. And we have got 5 games in the Championship. It's still Stoke 0, Bournemouth 1 here. Sheffield United 1, Millwall 1, Derby 2, Luton 1. QPR still 0-0 with Blackburn. And it's Bristol City 1, Forest 0. They are not far away from getting their first home win in a long, long time. Goalkeeper of Stoke City's kicked the ball out for a throw-in. And Jack Stacey will now run down the clock a little bit. It's 79 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock. Jack Stacey has the ball in his hands, throw in. Are you back with us, John?
I think so. I was also lost my feed as well for briefly there. Yeah, it's interesting. Again, just seeing how a lot of I think this is a consequence of our high press, but we do commit a lot of fouls. I think we're the most dirty, as it were, team in the league in terms of the
Ball in
amount
the
of
box from
fouls that we
Stoke.
commit.
It's shot straight down the throat of Mark Travers. I apologise, John, but there's a ball in the box from Stoke City. We didn't really clear it, and it ended up at Tyrese Campbell's foot, just slightly off centre outside the box. He hit it with his left foot. It's just inside the box, straight down Travis's throat. That's a let-off. It actually came off Sam Surridge unintentionally and ended up almost being a very good assist for Stoke. But Travers had it all the way. He grasped it down low. And if that was in a corner, we might be looking at Stoke 1, Bournemouth 1, but we're not. It is still Stoke 0, Bournemouth 1. That is definitely a letter for us. Sorry, John, to intercept there.
No, that's okay. I'm just that chance hasn't quite come yet at the moment, but that started originally from, or at least when it shows up, Stoke have still got possession. They're about to put the ball into the box, and that came from Jeff Lerma losing the ball.
And now I'm coming in again because Dom Solanke's won the ball.
From a
He's worked
throw
hard to
in.
intercept it. Oh, no, didn't really come of anything. This game is going end to end at the moment. And have you seen that chance now, John? Sort of unintentionally, Sam Surridge, it sort of come off his leg and landed at Tyrese Campbell with a good opportunity.
Surridge not really reacting, and it does bounce exactly, falls straight down Trevor's throat. Like I said, comes in initially from Jefferson Lerma giving the ball away and trying to buy a foul that was never going to come, and he ends up sitting on the floor for 2 seconds before immediately getting back up again because he realizes he's not going to get anything. Do you think Anthony's been quite out of this game as well, actually, now that I think about it? He's had his moments, but Anthony's not really had much of an influence on this game either, just seeing him lose the ball there. He has those games sometimes, but I do think that just generally the quality hasn't been there from that left-hand side, with Billing not necessarily really having a huge impact on the game. Solanke's still doing his best up front, obviously getting the goal. I do feel as though maybe that left-hand side relies on all three players firing, or at least it needs 2 out of the 3 to obviously definitely needs 2 out of the 3. When you think against the Barnsley game, I don't remember Anthony being all that great, but Zamora and Billing did, and Zamora obviously got 2 goals in that one. Whereas on the right, I feel as though there's a real just duo forming between Stacey and Christie. They've linked up probably the best in this match from when I've been focusing on it. As for changes, I don't know why there hasn't been one yet. I really don't understand how Kilkenny's still on the pitch, to be honest, because he's on a yellow. He's not the tough tackling player that we may well need to sort of get ourselves over the line, maybe drag ourselves over the line if we have to. And I would like to see Lerma playing a little bit deeper when we're on the ball as well. He plays. We've very clearly played in a 4-2-3-1 off the ball. Lerma has very definitely played level with Kilkenny when we've been defending, but has then just gone up when we've been attacking, and we've shifted to the 4-3-3 that we've been using more often this season. And Lerma plays higher when we're in possession. I'd like him to stay a bit deeper. And as I'm talking about that, funnily enough, off comes Gavin Kilkenny. Obviously, it's already happened for you, but Gavin Kilkenny comes off, and Ben Pearson, Piero, with a very slick back hair. I don't know how much rain there's been in Stoke, but I don't know whether he walked through a waterfall before coming onto the pitch. But that should hopefully shore us up for the final 10 minutes of the match.
Chance here for Stoke. It's through. Oh, and he couldn't get a good connection. Fortunately for AFC Bournemouth, he stuck that wide. Panicked when Travers was sort of closing in on him. It was Sam Surridge. He picked it up just inside our half. He released it between Jeff Lerma and Gary Cahill. And then the striker for Stoke City panicked and almost toe punted it with his left foot. So that was a chance for Stoke, but fortunately, the Cherries have had a let-off, and it's still AFC Bournemouth 1, Stoke 0, 84 minutes and 8 seconds. There are 2 more goals going in the Championship. John, Derby County have let go of the lead for the second time this evening. It's now Derby County 2, Luton 2, and the first goal at Loftus Road, that goes to QPR. And Ilias Chair has scored for QPR. Goals going in the Championship now. It's all very exciting now, John.
And at least unlike last time, every game has a goal, as opposed to last time where we were the only game without one. It was looking like QPR Blackburn might be the game that everyone expected to be high scoring, and didn't end up with a goal. But Ilias Cherries has done well. Oh God, yeah. Just looking at that Tyrese Campbell chance, he I don't know what he's doing there. I think he's trying to lift that over the keeper and completely messes it up.
I think he panicked when Travers came out. I think he thought that he was on limited time to do something with the ball.
The thing is,
we've got a chance down the right hand side. Billings released Stacey. He's crossed it high over the goalkeeper. There was Solanke coming in. Jaden Anthony was coming in for the left, but it was too much. Hit the wet surface as it hit the ground and went out for a Stoke throw-in. Getting in promising positions again. I think Jack Stacey's been very good tonight. We've just talked about some players potentially that have not had the best night. I wouldn't say they were poor, John, but Billings not been completely on it. Jaden Anthony again, like we've said. But I think we're going to get. Let's go back to Jaden Anthony. We're going to get performances like that out of Jaden Anthony. We can't expect to get 46 games of quality out of these players. They've definitely exceeded the expectation. And whilst they're still performing, you keep throwing them in. But if Anthony doesn't up his performance on Saturday against Huddersfield, we've got Robbie Brady now in the team as well. Jamal Lowe can probably play left or right. So we've definitely got a lot of versatility.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie Brady wouldn't be playing off the left, as far as I'm concerned. He's, he obviously can do that because he's that good a crosser as well. It's quite useful to have him, but I'm sure he'd be more likely to play off the right or in the right cam role. It would probably be Morgan Rogers would be first choice off the left wing, I would imagine, if it wasn't Anthony. But Jamal Lowe would also be a great option on that side. And yeah, I mean, Anthony hasn't been awful, but it's just, like a lot of players, he hasn't necessarily really shown great quality for long periods of the game. And, Billings just more involved. He puts himself about just as much.
We're defending a corner, John. Just hold it right there. Defend the corner. The 14th corner in the game. It's 7 for Stoke and 7 for Bournemouth. Ball came in from the right as you look at the goal. Was defended well enough by the Cherries, but Stoke City have got back of possession. They played a long diagonal out to the right, back in the box, but defended by Lloyd Kelly. 14 corners in this game, John. And we are 3 minutes away from 90. And we just have, I tell you what, the ball came in the box there. The striker of Stoke City tried to react, didn't really get anything on it. Billing was expecting him to sort of head it, didn't. And then it looks like it hit Billing's hand. Didn't know much about it. Ham stroke hip. Obviously, you'll see this in about a minute's time. But Billing was expecting the Stoke player to get more on it. And when it didn't, the ball stayed straight from the delivery and ended up hitting Billing that could have been a VAR moment. I don't think it would have been given as a pen. I think it would be very harsh.
I mean, based on what I've just seen, I haven't seen a replay, but based on seeing it live, his arm is tucked into his body. Certainly did not look anything like it would have any chance of getting a penalty from that. I'm waiting to see if they show a replay of that, which they probably will. But yeah, played short and then put in from a deeper angle. And yeah, I mean, his arm's well and truly tucked into his body. There's no way that's going to be a penalty. And then there's just an offside that's just been given.
We're getting into the closing stages of the Championship. Sorry, John, come back to you in just a moment. We're coming into the closing stages of the Championship. It's 1-0 to Bournemouth. Stoke City are in possession inside our half. It's out wide. They're going to look to get another delivery in with 3 strikers, potentially 3 attackers in the box. It's cleared just about by Lloyd Kelly and Jordan Zamora. And if we go to somewhere else in the country, John, Bristol City, they thought they were getting very close to their first home win in 16 games. But former Cherries, Lyle Taylor, has just equalised for Nottingham Forest. And it might have got even worse because it looks like they've turned it around in 2 minutes. Forest look like they're 2-1 up.
Wow, Taylor again. Two goals in a
Wow.
minute, it looks like, from Taylor with the second goal. It's not showing on Sky Sports site that Taylor scored the first, but certainly showing Taylor got the second, unless that's been duplicated for whatever reason. But, well, I mean, I said I didn't think that Bristol City would win that game. But that's a hell of a way for that prediction to come true, for Bristol City to be 1-0 up for, 70 minutes and lose that 1-2-1. But we'll get back to this game.
It looks like a 91st and a 92nd goal for Lyle Taylor, but we're back at the Bet365. 5 minutes have gone up on the board. It's crossed in from Stoke. We're now defending for our lives. It's QPR again. It's QPR all over again. And just like the other games where it's been 2-1, it's Sheffield United again. These balls are going to be coming into the box for the next 4 minutes. We're going to have to dig deep. We've got 5 clean sheets on the road. We're looking for 6. It's currently 1-0, and we have some breathing space with a goal kick for Travers. What are you saying in the chat? Things are getting interesting. Confirm there that Forest have taken a 2-1 lead against Bristol City. Confirmation that 5 minutes have been added on. Chesterfield. Please, Cherries, hold on. Can we hold on, John?
I tell you what, the assistant ref has had both assistant refs have been horrendous in this match. The amount of calls they've got wrong. Because I've just seen Ben Pearson tangle with Vrancic and it very clearly going for a goal kick. The assistant ref giving a corner. And that's the 3rd or 4th time that's happened. The referee and assistant refs have made a few terrible decisions there. But Bournemouth continue to, quote unquote, hold on at this moment. 5 minutes is a long time, 5 minutes of stoppages, but only, I'm guessing, 3.5 minutes of that to go on your end.
My score clock is 91 minutes and 40 seconds. And Solanke is trying to win the ball out of the air. Can't control it. Miscontrols it. It's back in possession with Stoke. I'm going to continue this commentary for the next minute or so as Stoke have the ball in their half. They're going to want to get it forward as quickly as possible. We're working hard. Ryan Christie's working hard. Ben Pearson's in there. He's trying to win the ball. It's still with Stoke. It's with Sam Surridge. He's 25. He's looked for one of those technical and tactical free kicks. What he did, John, is he got the ball. He got control of it. He turned inside, I think, Ben Pearson, got his body in the way, and then Ben Pearson leaned on him from behind and gave the foul away. You're looking at about 30 yards out. Now they've got Vrancic. He could potentially have a look at this. Will he shoot? It's one of those awkward free kicks, though, John, when you see it, where it's quite centralised. So anything other than a shot, it's quite difficult to get a good diagonal on it to bring players into play in the box.
And just to say, for anyone that isn't aware, as I don't think you mentioned it, Chris Mepham has come on for Phil Bill. So we're to a 5-4-1 now. Well and truly backs to the wall. Make sure we pull this over the line.
We're going to stay with this free kick that Vrancic is over. There's a goal at Bramall Lane. It's Sheffield United 1, Millwall 2. That's Sheffield United with 10 men. They're not going to get any points at home this evening, and Millwall are going to take all 3 points away from Bramall Lane. But it's a free kick at the Bet365 for Vrancic. He's having a go. It's saved by Travers. It was a nice height. Didn't have a lot of power in it. To Travers's right. And he did what the Stoke goalkeeper should have done when we scored. He parried it out wide instead of trying to collect it. And they've tried to put the ball back in the box, Stoke, but it's gone away for a goal kick. Travers just shown the Stoke goalkeeper what he should have done. And we are still 1-0 up with a minute and 20 seconds to go, John. We're so close to another win on the road.
And I would have got my prediction bang on as well if this maintains as things stand. I did, to be fair, I called 1-0 against Bristol City. I got that one wrong, but this one at the moment, I'm calling the clean sheets, though. It's not hard when you've got 5 in a row bordering on 6. But with about almost exactly a minute left to go, I'll let you commentate this one out.
Yeah, it is 94 minutes and 12 seconds. Mark Travers has a goal kick, and he is taking his time. Please take your time, Mark Travers. We are close to another victory on the road, a 6th clean sheet on the road. And we all take our points tally to 31 points. We will show you that league table after the game. We're going to have a match review. We're going to get some thoughts after the game from some guests. We'll take a look at those other championship results, but we have got 15 seconds to go. Dom Solanke has the ball. He's taken it into the corner, couldn't keep control of the ball. Slightly run it out for a throw-in, but it is deep in Stoke City's half by the corner flag on the left. And we are trying to keep them tucked in that corner. Currently with Chris Mepham. Like John said, Chris Mepham's come on. He's headed it forward. We're now gone past the allotted 5 extra minutes. The referee is still continuing to play. Jordan Zamora has the ball inside our half. It's back with Mark Travers. He clears it 50 yards up the pitch. Anthony's battling to win the ball. It's a Stoke free kick. We've had 95 minutes and 30 seconds. The referee still is not taking a look at his watch. Surely, once this free kick that's going to be taken by Stoke deep in their half, the ref has just had a look at his watch. I can only think that the Mepham substitution is added on time past the 5 minutes. Stoke City on the right-hand side, battling for the ball. Jordan Zamora says, not interested, hooks the ball up in the air, out for a throw-in, back into Stoke's half on the right-hand side. We've got 38 if you're currently watching. We really appreciate a subscription if you're new to the channel, or hit the like button as the referee takes another long look at that watch, but he's still not putting the whistle towards his mouth. The game goes on. It's with Stoke. They are out to the left, inside our half, just outside the box, crossed, and we are going to have to defend, John, a final corner, about the 16th corner, I believe, in this game. Mepham cleared that one, and they're all coming up, even potentially the goalkeeper. Not in the screen at the moment. No goalkeeper in there. It's coming in from Francic. One more corner to defend. It's headed by Stoke. Couldn't get a good connection on it. Back with Francic. It's gone back out wide to where the corner was taken. He's brought it inside. They're claiming another penalty. No chance. And there you have it. The whistle has gone. We have worked hard. Dom Solanke, he puts his fists up. Cahill grabs Lloyd Kelly. It's AFC Bournemouth 1. Stoke City 0. That is full time. John, you called it. 1-0. Great 3 points. The camera's just gone on to the fans. However many's there, 600-700. Well played to the fans, the Cherries fans that have gone up to the Bet365. And we have all 3 points. It's 1-0 to AFC Bournemouth, John. That's another clean sheet. 6 clean sheets on the road, and that's a big 3 points.
Huge 3 points. Yeah. I mean, I think people were a little bit pessimistic in terms of where people were going up against, looking at Bristol City and Stoke as our two fixtures against our 2 fixtures after the international break. There was an element of, Bristol City haven't won at home for yonks. I'm sure they'll probably beat us, as the kind of sod's law thing. And then going up away to Stoke, and a team that we know are playing well. We're always going to be tough, and most people probably were looking at 2 draws out of that. A lot were probably thinking we'd lose to Stoke, but I thought we'd probably get 4 points from these. I thought we'd beat Bristol City, and I thought we'd probably draw against Stoke until I saw the lineup and felt a little bit more confident. But I mean, to get another 2 wins on the road, 2 clean sheets against. Okay, Bristol City have that terrible home record, but they were top 10 before we played them based on their away record. And then this Stoke side that have been, they went and beat West Brom before the international break here quite convincingly, 1-0 not long ago. So for us to come here and battle well with them, work hard and pull out, I say a moment of quality. We pulled out the goal. I'm not sure how much quality there necessarily was within the goal, but we got the job done. And that defense as well is just so difficult for players for opposition teams to actually work out and get through when you've got obviously the main central 2 partnership of Cahill and his experience and his know-how and his leadership, with Kelly with his recovery pace and his strength and ability, and then combine that with 2 players that I think a lot of fans probably don't really rate as defenders, or didn't rate too much as defenders, at the start of the season in Zamora and Stacey, both doing really good jobs to very much shut down Stoke and Kilkenny. Okay, maybe it wasn't his greatest performance. He certainly wasn't the kind of dictator on the ball that we saw against Bristol City. I didn't expect him to be. This isn't that type of game. This isn't the same team that he's going up against. But despite getting a yellow in the second minute, then went on to battle well, but not be stupid, work hard. And despite having a few players that maybe didn't play brilliantly, the team showed its ability to defend and showed its a moment. Showed what it's capable of in moments. And to get a win is absolutely fantastic. And we now go 6 points clear temporarily.
Well, we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look at that table in a moment. We're going to get more match reaction. Please stay with us for the next 15 or 20 minutes. We're going to stay on. We're going to get some guests on. How are they feeling after that latest Cherries win? That's a 13 unbeaten record now, and that might be a record that goes back to I think 2000. We want to get your thoughts. I'm going to read out some of your comments in just a bit, but do us a favor. If you're new to the channel, it's been a brilliant night. Make it an even better night. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Also hit that like button. We're going to get a check on that like button. Have we got to 50 likes this evening? Let's hope we have. Let's just have a 30-second breather. We're going to get some fan reaction. We're going to take a look at that league table, and we're going to take a look at those other championship results. Stay with us. Let us know your thoughts. Hit that like button. We got a couple of guests coming on very, very soon, but let's get some messages in the chat. Let's catch up, shall we? Jakey up the Cherries. Come on. 1-0 the Cherries. Sammy, thank God for that whistle. We've got full-time 13 undefeated. AFC Bournemouth, Germany. Yes, get in. And we've got Chester, Phil, Few, great win. Stephen Dyer. Cheers, Kirk and John. Nice one. See you next time. Up the Cherry. Great 3 points. Definitely was. We've got Badger, great win for the Cherries. We've got Chris in there, full-time, great win. Paul, how are you doing? Quality, very happy. Mark Cole, get in there and breathe. We don't do it any other way, do we? We're going to look back at some of these in time at the end of the season if we go up, and these are going to be big results for us. Maybe we'll get some man of matches in a moment. Christy, again, thank you so much for the broadcast. You are more than welcome. We're going to get some of them more on the screen, but I want to get some guests on. So we'll get some of more of those messages on the screen. But let's bring in, for the first time this evening, he's been on the channel recently. It's Matt Davis. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well, Kurt. Very well indeed. Can you see and hear me all right?
Absolutely fine.
Yep.
We're going to get your thoughts in a moment. We're going to get Aaron in for the third time this evening. 3 points for the Cherries. We'll get Aaron's thoughts.
God,
but I tell you what, let's get this one in first, shall we? We're going to go live to the Bet365. He did a match preview with Sam Davis on Back of the Net this morning. Shall we see how Morgan Scott's feeling? Let's go live to the Bet365. Can you hear us, Morgan? Can you hear us, Morgan? How you feeling? He looks happy. Even
Can
if
you hear
can't
me?
hear him. Yeah, how you feeling?
Yes.
How you feeling? He looks
I don't think he has
Look
earphones
at that
in.
smile. Look at that smile on Morgan's
It's like me
face.
at Peterborough. All you could see was my ear on my nose.
How you feeling, Morgan? Can you hear us? Well, we'll try again. Look, we got to see his smiling face, didn't we? I'm going to put that Cherries scoreline on the banner at the bottom in just a moment. Let's bring you in, Matt. 1-0. Should have had a penalty. Could have got a second free Solanke. They hit the post. Maybe a bit of a bore in the first half, but it came alive in the second, didn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it did. I find it fascinating actually that even teams in the top 6 like Stoke are setting up really to take a point from us. I don't know if this has been said so far tonight, maybe, but they would have been elated with a point tonight, and you could see that from minute one, really. And that's a great compliment to us. It's just the only thing that frustrated me second up. Well, the first thing that frustrated me was the officials, because I thought they were diabolical, to say the very least. I thought they were absolutely shocking tonight, or they were for us anyway. We weren't getting anything from them. What was it? Two penalty? You should have had two penalties. Various other decisions that were very strange and went against us. So that was the first thing that really riled me a little bit. But the second thing is, you've touched on it already, Kirk. We have got to learn to kill these games off when we're on top. 1-0 up, the game's there for us. We had a spell. Solanke hits the bar. And you can't be critical of Solanke because he scored the winner. He's worked his socks off again, but he has to bury that at 2-0. We haven't got the penalty to give us that chance to make it 2-0 on Zamura, which should have been a penalty all day long. But Solanke's got to bury that for me, and it is game over, because I said it against Sheffield United on the free-for-all with Sam Davis, and I can't go through this season like this, biting nails and on the edge of my seat. It's just too much, and we could just make life a little bit easier for ourselves, because we're the better team tonight again, for large parts, for all of it really. You wouldn't be able to tell, would you, who the home side was really for most of that game. It could have been quite easily us, because we dominate the ball, we dominate territory and possession. I think we've just got to make it count. On Saturday we won a canter, but it should have been more, and tonight we just made it more difficult than it should have been after getting our noses in front. But overall, they're minor criticisms, really. I'm elated. You have to be, to go another clean sheet away from home. I mean, it's just phenomenal, isn't it? Really, and yeah, great stuff.
Maybe they're trying to wind you up, Matt, keeping you on the edge of your seat. Aaron, we spoke to you before the game. We spoke to you at halftime. I think you, if I can recall, you remained positive. I think you went for a 1-1, just like me. But it was John's scoreline. It was a 1-0. Should have been more, maybe. But we take that all day long. We would have taken that at 8 a.m. this morning, wouldn't we?
Oh, absolutely. I think the ref wanted it to be 1-1. I mean, where he got the extra 2 minutes on top of the 5. I mean, we were screaming at the TV here. I just got told off by my wife and daughter because we were all screaming at the TV. Like, what is that arsehole doing? Like, seriously, what's he? I mean, 97th minute, and they had a corner, and then they still didn't blow. Anyway, yeah. I mean, as Matt said, I mean, 6th clean sheet away from home in a row. I mean, that's just ridiculous. He's right. You know, we don't kill games off. I think today I can kind of forgive us, because today was never going to be a game like Bristol City or like Blackpool or like other games where, you know, we should have probably buried a lot more chances. I think, you know, look what happened to West Brom when they came here. You come here to Stoke. They upped it second half. I thought they were poor first half, as I said, but they upped it second half. And to come in on 1-0 is just brilliant. We rode it like a little bit. I think they hit the post. They had like a 10-minute spell where they came alive just after we scored. But yeah, Dom should have put that. He did the hard work. You know, to get himself in that position was brilliant, and it just slot it into it was kind of an empty net because the keeper was kind of on the floor already. Yeah. But yeah, I thought we controlled it. I think, you know, it was nail biting, but what a result. Yeah.
Second time then, Matt, we did a 1-0 at the Bet365 last season. We've done another 1-0 this season. Martin says, how long can we continue to scrape wins? Please give us an easy watch at home on Saturday. Can we give us an easy win on Saturday, Matt? Can we maybe put 5 past Huddersfield?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Huddersfield are no mugs this season. It's going to be another tough game, and we keep saying every game, don't we? We're gonna come unstuck at some point. This can't carry on. We're gonna slip up. But is it that we're, you know, I keep battling with myself really. Is it that we're making life difficult for ourselves, or are we just very, very good, very organised? Our work rate, again, is phenomenal. And, you know, when you see Ryan Christie, not just the offensive side of his game, but the defensive side, the work rate that he goes through, tracking back, making challenges, and everybody to a man is putting that work rate in. I just think we're so hard to score against, particularly away from home. And home teams get frustrated. Home crowds get on the home team's back. And that plays into our hands a little bit. And then they start going long and too long. Balls go out of play. We squeeze up a bit. Cahill's got us very, very organised with the two banks, the defence and the midfield with Travers behind. So, yes, we're making it difficult for ourselves. But, you know, there's another argument for the fact that we're managing games in the right way. And if we do that throughout the season, that's what gets you promoted, isn't it?
It didn't take long, did it, John, to turn that lack of quality that was on in the first half into the second half, and the game was a lot better to watch. And and we could have had more goals, just like we could have had against Bristol City. But we did take one of our chances. A good reaction from Dom Solanke from a rebound. But the quality shone through. We've talked about those slow starts. It was a longer slow start tonight. It took 45 minutes to get going. I'm going to come back. Hold that thought, John. I'm going to come back to that question. Let's try and go live back to the Bet365. This is take 2
Take your
with Morgan.
camera. Can you hear me now?
How you doing, Morgan? How are you?
Yes.
Yeah, very well, thanks. Good
Fantastic.
victory, another 3 points.
AFC Bournemouth 1, Stoke 0. First half, maybe frustrating to watch for us. Was it frustrating for you? But the second half, better football, better quality. Dom Solanke, your man, he got the goal and a great 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought at like half time it was quite flat, but then we just got over the line and we grinded that. From what you saw at home, like we grinded out. Like we looked a bit leggy in the final 10-15 minutes, but I thought we grinded out the result pretty well. And Stoke didn't really have any apart from the free kick from Travis Hay quite comfortably, and also the fans from Stoke, they didn't sing anything apart from a substitute. It was terrible, to be honest, but we come away happy.
How was you feeling in those last final moments? So there was 5 minutes added on, about 7 in the end, Morgan. Stoke City tried to throw balls in the box. How was you feeling in the stadium? Was you nervous?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of had my head in my hands and I kind of sat down for 5 seconds just until like the danger was over, and then we got back up and we shot, and then we just managed to grind over the result again. So yeah, no, it's all feeling confident again tonight, and then Huddersfield on Saturday. So yeah.
Brilliant. Are you going to have a cheeky drink on the way home, or is it straight home and get home to bed?
I might get a J2O at the services, Kirk, if I'm feeling lucky. Push the boat out a bit.
Well done on your preview on back of the net this morning. Fantastic.
Thank
stuff,
you very much.
Morgan. Enjoy yourself.
No, thank you.
Have a safe trip home with the Hensman and Sam Davis and Tom Jordan. Well done, guys.
I'm sure I will. Cheers. Thanks, John.
Cheers.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Kirk. Cheers, Alan.
See you Saturday, mate.
Cheers, Morgan.
Yeah, we're also, John. Brilliant. Morgan live from the Bet365 there. Yeah, quality lacked in the first half, but it didn't take long to improve that quality, and the game was a lot better to watch for the neutral.
Yeah, it's interesting when you say the quality shone through, because as I mentioned when we saw the goal, and I'm just watching the replay of it, that comes from a Stokes goal kick, and I don't think either team put more than 3 passes together. It's Stoke put 2 passes, lost the ball. Bournemouth 2 passes, lost the ball. Stoke 2 passes, lost the ball. And then we, to be fair, showed what you could argue was the moment of quality. Ryan Christie cutting inside wasn't a brilliant shot, but then the keeper made a complete hash of it, and Dominic Solanke did what a good striker has to do and get on the end of it, which you could argue was the one real moment of quality in the entire period of about 20 seconds. But the entire match lacked a lot of quality from both sides. We were the ones that showed more and created more opportunity. I think the XG is probably going to be relatively even because of quite a few chances that Stoke had towards the end of the game, or opportunities they looked like they were creating. But yeah, it's just an interesting one. There's not really too much to really look back on that in terms of our attacking play, because I feel Anthony was a little bit off it. Billing again looked off it. Lerma did good. Gerber did well, but he's not really the attacking impetus that we want. I think Christie really had his moments, probably more so than anyone else in the game, which is why Sky gave him the man of the match. Solanke worked his arse off again. But really what you can just look at is just how solid we are defensively, how good we are at the moment at the back. I think that's the real thing you can take from this game. You know, Morgan mentioned that Stoke didn't make much. I think actually the shot where I think it was Thompson hit the post, that was the massive one that they should have really done more with when it comes in for the right-hand side. And then even Klukas on the follow-up manages to make a hash of it. Campbell comes on, has one opportunity that he managed to toe poke about 20 miles away from the actual goal. But for the most part, it really was our defensive solidity, our resilience, and just like that post that the AFC Bournemouth Twitter account put up after the which game was it? The Luton game, where it was about 3 minutes of players just getting stuck in with great tackles. A similar performance today, a load of interceptions, load of tackling, a lot of battling, and yeah, that's a great positive to look at.
We're going to get final thoughts from Aaron and Matt in just a moment. Let's take a look at those championship results tonight then. action at the Bet365 in the second half, and there was action also in the Championship. There was 5 games. You had Bristol City 1, Nottingham Forest 2. They were so close to getting their first win in 16 at home. 2 goals from Lyle Taylor, 91st and 92nd minute, and Bristol City have another loss at home for Nigel Pearson. Derby 2, Luton 2. Derby took the lead twice in that game, but Luton pulled them back. QPR, they scored late on to take a victory. 3 points for QPR, 1-0 against Blackburn. Sheffield United, 10 men. Sheffield United lost 2-1 to Millwall, and Stoke City 0. AFC Bournemouth 1. Right, let's take a look at that league table. Should we take a look at that league table, guys? Should we see how pretty it looks?
It's very beautiful.
Right, there is your Championship League table. Still more games to come in the Championship tomorrow night. But as it stands, you'll see 3 wins on the form guide on the right-hand side. But AFC Bournemouth, 13 played, 31 points, 0 losses. Matt, great feeling. Definitely exceeded my expectations at the start of the season. I was looking for playoffs. We're in a very good place. We move on to Huddersfield on Saturday, and I think we can really now give ourselves a good chance at increasing that lead again.
Yeah, well, what we're doing is we've all touched upon it, is we're finding a way to win. Like John was quite rightly saying there this evening, there wasn't a great deal of quality on show tonight. The vast majority of it, any that there was, came from us, really. Stoke didn't string a lot of passes or make a lot of chances, really, for a home team. We're just finding a way to win. We're managing to nick a goal at the right time. And yeah, like I said earlier, I just wish we make it a bit more comfortable, make the game safe when we get the opportunity. But we've got that winning habit, that winning mentality. Keeping clean sheets is the bedrock of any great team that's going to do anything in terms of a promotion from out of a division. And we're in that. We're firmly in that habit, aren't we? So it bodes really well. And yeah, Saturday, home to Huddersfield, another tough game, but we go into it full of confidence, don't we? And bring it on.
Aaron, going to get your final thoughts on this latest Cherries victory. Should we go back to the Bet365 one more time, shall we? Let's go live. Let's get Mr. Steve Hensman on the channel, the watch along. How you doing, Steve?
Good evening, gentlemen. I've got a colleague with me. Or we're sort of moonlighting a little bit.
I can't hear what they're saying.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Here we go.
Amateurs.
Yeah. So amateurs. Budget, aren't we? So budget.
Amateurs. Absolute amateurs. Guys, how are you feeling? You've got smiles on your faces. It felt very much like Birmingham in the first 45 minutes, but that game came alive in the second half.
Yeah, do you know what? I said this about halfway through the second half. It's echoes of Birmingham, but do you want me to come down for you?
Yeah, please.
But no, I think first half it was a bit. Excuse my voice, by the way. It's very, very hoarse. Yeah. Matty had something to do with this on Saturday. Bristol was a bit messy.
Sorry, Steve.
But yeah, first half I thought we struggled a little bit. We didn't quite click in midfield. I didn't find. Thought Gav and Phil struggled a little bit. Second half, I thought those two stepped it up, and I thought, we started to put the foot on the gas and turn the screw a little bit. A little bit fortunate at the end with a couple of their chances. Don't know how he misses that one. Was it the sub that came on, got clean through?
Campbell.
Yeah, that looked like an awful miss.
Yeah, it was.
So we rode our luck, but more than happy with the 1-0 away win at Stoke.
Did Sam see the goal?
You know what, Aaron? Yes, I did, and I captured it. You know what, Aaron? Like, I've got to say, it's such a weird. I mean, we didn't have that many fans here, but I've got to say, like, it's a real sort of muted celebration because it's almost like we're used to it now. It really is. It's actually, like Bournemouth fans have come to expect it, and we're grinding out these results. And I thought, today, whilst the first half wasn't particularly good, the second half we seemed to have a lot of the ball and created more chances, and we just looked, very dangerous. And really, when I think about it, apart from that one that you alluded to there, or diluted to, whatever how you said, really, they didn't have much. And it was one of those performances where, look, Dom Solanke hits it too well. If he just scuffed it or did something like that, or just passes it,
just slide it,
we'd have been home and dry. But look, we know we sometimes support a side that will get a result, but we'll make it hard for ourselves. But you know what? I thought it was really good. What a statement to the whole division that is, Kirk, eh? What a statement.
Absolutely. You had your preview this morning on Back of the Net. You and Morgan did a great job to prepare the fans for this game. You just touched on it there. Dom Solanke, his goal was a natural number 9 instinct, reacting to the rebound from the Christie shot. Second attempt, hit it well, hit the top of the crossbar. We maybe should have had a penalty. Someone in the chat said, Sam, how many times can we keep scraping 1-0s and 2-1s? Is this going to come
Doesn't matter
back and
though.
haunt us at some point?
Doesn't matter.
Don't care.
You know what? And it doesn't matter because it felt like we had more in the tank. And look, like we raised ourselves when we had to. And the fact is, Dom Solanke scoring goals like that. Dom Solanke's not that kind of strike. Like he hasn't done that for a long time. It's almost Callum Wilson-esque, a person that actually reacted to a shot which was palmed. Usually, like Dom Solanke doesn't score those goals, and the fact he has, I think, is absolutely massive. And maybe that'll give him the confidence to be that kind of striker as well. Like add penalties to it. Maybe he's 20, 25 goals. Kirk, 30, whatever. It's happening.
Season, definitely.
Right, final thought, guys. I'm going to let you go because I know you want to get on the road back home. Maybe stop at a services or two.
Well,
I want to stay here all night, mate. Lovely, lovely place.
I think we're hanging around for some of the players. Tom wants to see Jeff, doesn't he? Let's give him a kiss.
He does. He always waits for Lerma, doesn't he? 5 seconds, Sam and Steve. Going to give you 5 seconds. I want you to give me your man of the match. Let's see if you come to the same decision.
Ooh.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dom Solanke.
Hey, the goat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, you know what? So good.
Great
He works
minds,
his socks
great
off, mate.
minds.
Works his socks off.
There we go. It's been great to see you. Thanks for coming on this watch along. Well done for supporting the team. Have a safe trip back. And
Cheers,
we'll talk
guys.
to you soon.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers, boys. Have a cherries.
Cherries.
Yes.
Live from the Bet365 Stadium, Steve Hensman and the legend that is Sam Davis on Back of the Net. Aaron, where were we? Top of the league, Huddersfield on Saturday. What does Scott Parker do now? Probably went to Bet365 thinking, take a point. Now he's got all 3. Does he mix it up a bit? Maybe go on the attack a little bit more on Saturday?
I think he has a bit of glass of wine first, maybe. I just want to come in actually very quickly and say that my 2 men of the match were the 2 players we brought in towards the end of the window. I can't think that we can underestimate how good Cahill and Christie have been for us. Matt mentioned earlier the work rate of Ryan Christie is just beyond it. I mean, it's just unbelievable work rate and skill. And Cahill, again, I just don't think we can underestimate how important he is at the back, heading everything out, organising, making everyone a better player around him. So those 2 have been huge for us. And 8 goals in 13 games. And actually 4 of those were in 2 games against Blackpool and West Brom. So that's 4 goals in 11 games conceded is just in the Championship is absolutely ridiculous. Huddersfield, it's not going to be easy. Again, we sort of think, we've won away at Bristol and Stoke, back to home to Huddersfield, nice, easy 3 points. It won't be because they are much better this season. They've surprised a lot of people. But I can't look beyond. Back at home, we all scored 2 goals. I can't look beyond a 2-0 win. I think we'll keep another clean sheet. I don't think it'll be comfortable, but I think it will be a victory. Might maybe eat my words, but I think we'll do the job and move on to the next one.
If you watch the game on Sky Sports, let us know who you think your man of the match is. We're going to close this show out very, very soon. Matt, final thoughts. Thanks for coming on this watch along. Great to see you on Cherries Red Army. Who was your man of the match? And am I going to see you Saturday at Dean Court?
Yes, absolutely. I'll be in the club bar Saturday again, Kirk. So I look forward to seeing you and everybody else there, hopefully. I echo what Aaron said there, really. I think for me, Gary Cahill and Ryan Christie, Dominic Solanke with the goal worked his socks off, brilliant. Should have had 2 at least. But Ryan Christie and Gary Cahill, phenomenal tonight. Absolutely phenomenal. Cahill, not just his ability to head everything and win everything and he reads the game so well. He doesn't have to move a muscle sometimes. He reads it so well, and he's organising all the time. Kelly's the captain, but Cahill's the captain there, really, and that they complement each other so well. Brilliant stuff. So I'm going to give it to Gary Cahill tonight because of the clean sheet. Unbelievable.
Fantastic. And John, very quickly, we're going to close out this show in a minute, John, but do you have a man of the match this evening? John, your sound's gone a moment. Are you on mute? potentially?
I could have sworn I'd taken myself off mute. Never mind. If I could, I'd give it to the whole back four, to be honest. I think, particularly at the end, Tyrese Campbell dropped himself directly on Gary Cahill because he knew he would outpace him comfortably. And it's only because the back line was marshalled so well and the line was kept so good that Campbell only had that one opportunity that Travers blocked him down, and Campbell ended up toe poking it a mile wide. But I think as much as Gary Cahill has done well, I think Lloyd Kelly obviously needs to get credit as well for doing his job, apart from that one mysterious header that in the first half that he sent the wrong way for whatever reason. But I'd also think Zamora and Stacey need a lot of credit for that game as well. I mean, I mentioned it before. I think Zamora and Stacey are two players that a lot of fans really didn't rate too much at the start of the season defensively. Most people would still have Smith over Stacey in terms of defensively on the right-hand side, and Zamora has come on in leaps and bounds. He should have had a penalty without any shadow of a doubt. He should have had an assist because Dominic Solanke whacked the bar, and that was Zamora that ended up in the number 8 position, passing that through to Solanke. And let's not forget that Stacey put in a couple of fantastic balls into the box that we didn't get goals from. That was really where our creative threat came from for the majority of our good opportunities, was from Zamora and Stacey. As much as Christie gets his assist, his customary assist, it seems, every game. But I think Zamora probably is the man I'd have over Stacey if I was to have only one man of the match, but I wouldn't mind giving it to both of them, to be honest. They were the entire back four were brilliant.
Matt, thanks for coming on this evening. Have a good couple of days. Enjoy your win. I'll see you Saturday.
Thanks for having me, Kurt. Yeah, look forward to it on Saturday. Good to see you guys. Have a good
See
one.
you, Matt.
Cheers,
Nice
mate.
seeing you, Matt.
Aaron, thank you for your contributions throughout the night, pre-match, half-time and full-time. Great to see you. See you Saturday.
Yeah, I'll see you Saturday, and thanks both of you. It's a tireless task to do what you did, but it was great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aaron.
See you, Aaron. Stay with us then. We've got about 5 more minutes to go, but I want to tell you something while we're here talking Cherries. If you can get down to the Vitality Stadium on Thursday, 21st of October, doors open at 7:30. The event starts at 8 o'clock. Get to know the Talking Cherries. I tell you what, we're going to come back and close this show out in just a moment. We're going to say our goodbyes. We appreciate everyone that's been here, but let's just hear from Sammy now from the Talking Cherries. She'll tell us more about this event on Thursday. If you can get there, make sure you don't miss it.
Hi, so just wanted to give you a little bit more information about the Talking Cherries event that we've managed to get organised for at the stadium. So at Dean Court, Vitality Stadium on the 21st of October at 7:30 for an 8 o'clock start, we're just holding a Get to Know the Talking Cherries evening. So we will actually be having a question and answer session with Frano himself, hosted by Mark McAdams, as long as his work schedule suits, followed by a little informal quiz, and then we're just going to have a bit of a get-together, a bit of a mingle, have a chat, get to know some of the Talking Cherries, and just get to know some of your fellow fans that might be there too. So it'll be great to see as many of you as possible. I have had a few people ask me if it's open for them to come to, and yeah, the answer is it's open to anyone. Anyone can come along, come and meet us, come and meet some fellow fans, come and listen to Frano, and just have a nice sociable evening. So hopefully we'll see as many of you there as we can on Thursday, 21st of October, 7:30.
This Thursday, doors open up at 7:30 and the event starts at 8 o'clock. Right, John? Been a great evening. We got what we wanted in the end. We were looking for that, weren't we? A Cherries goal and a Cherries win. We're still unbeaten on the watch along. We're unbeaten in 13 as a team. Final thoughts. Going to put some messages on the screen. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. If you want to put any nice messages, if you've been with us all night, I'm going to show them on the screen as John just closes out his final summary. 3 points for the Cherries and we move on, top of the league.
Yeah, inflicting Stoke's first defeat at home of the season. They had a good record for a reason, and we have stunted that somewhat. So, fantastic from us, takes us well and truly as the best away team in the division. And of course, on this watch along, not only are we unbeaten, 7 points from 9, we still haven't conceded a goal on these watch alongs yet. So 3 clean sheets from 3 watch alongs is also a pretty good record. And yeah, onwards and upwards. I think it was a tough game. Was always going to be one. Wasn't the cleanest match. Wasn't the greatest match in terms of quality, but we did certainly show moments, and I think we did just about edge it. If anyone was going to win, it was going to be us. But I don't think either team would have been overly disappointed with a draw. Having said that, it is a win. It is 3 points. We march on further, well and truly clear at the moment before West Brom and Fulham play tomorrow. And yeah, on to Saturday and Huddersfield, another very tough game against a team that's in the top 6. And fingers crossed, another 3 points.
You should have been at the Bet365, John, but I've enjoyed your company this evening on this watch along. Even if you were about 55 seconds behind me, we got through it as a team and we got the result, didn't we? Cheers, John. I hope to speak to you soon.
No problem. I'll speak to you again soon, and thanks again for having me on.
Thank you to everyone who's joined us this evening. It's been another enjoyable watch along. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 700. Hit the like button. I think we went way past 50 likes in the end. What a great night it's been. We've had some exciting guests. We've been to the Bet365 stadium. We got the result in the second half. Smiles all round. We're unbeaten in 13. We're top of the championship. We remain where we are, and we're now on 31 points. We move on to Huddersfield. We will have a preview hopefully coming your way. Quick turnaround again, so I will try and get a preview out for you, and then I will be at the game on Saturday. So check out over the weekend, hit that notification bell, so there should be a match day vlog hopefully on the Sunday for that. Everyone, hope you look after yourself. Thank you around the world where you've joined us. America, if you've been in Bournemouth, wherever you've been, it's been a great night chatting with you. Had some really good interaction. From me and John, though, this is our latest watch along. 1-0 to the Cherries. We did it midweek on a Tuesday night at Stoke. Yeah, okay. And John got the scoreline right as well. Until the next video, we'll see you soon. From me and John, up the Cherries.